Welcome to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, the living legend, Logan Hurston. I'm of course joined by my co-host, the gimmick killer, Cooper Prater.
If he calls himself Vanilla Baby, then why was he wearing purple?
And he is a giant, standing at a whopping 20 foot, 11 inches, Mr. Jack Dudley.
And I am never tired.
He is never tired. Welcome back to Strongest Style. It's been a fun week. This is our first week of our Okada and Tanahashi's whole feud retrospective that is leading up to Wrestle Kingdom 20. We also, at Final Battle, we're in the midst of the C2 World Tag League. But all that to be said, the best tag team in the world, they aren't in AEW. They aren't in New Japan. They aren't even
in All Japan Pro Wrestling, and their names are Zion Quinn and Odyssey Jones.
Wait.
The Real World Tag League.
If you're looking for the best tag team in the world, you got to go to the Arc Brother. The Good Brothers debuted in Pro Wrestling Noah. I don't think Carl Anderson knows that the Cincinnati Bengals are not known in Japan for why he wore that jersey to the ring. But they beat up that little geek, Kaito Kiyomiya. If he thought the Okada beatdown was bad, he just waits till he sees the machine gun on the other side of the ring, brother. Let me tell you. What are they doing over there?
Getting paid, son.
No, not the Good Brothers. I'm just saying Noah. Remember when we thought they were going to come back and like have a run in Japan, and then they just had one strong appearance with the Bucks, and then never did anything ever again?
The goal in Noah right now, the overarching goal, is to make Kaito look as bad as possible all the time. That's the reason they're there.
I'll never forget when I thought he was like the future. How wrong I was.
Man.
Tim and Shota were like the biggest like misses I've ever seen. I'm like, when I saw him versus Kiyomiya in that G1 where they had the 4 blocks, I was like, that's a really good match. I'm like, these guys, I mean, he could jump to the New Japan and be the guy. He's going to get that Okada match? Nope. Nope.
You didn't know that Mr. Smack Daddy was around yet.
Hey, ease off my goat, bro. That's NXT's Mr. Smack Daddy to you. I do love Inamura, and I always have. But, yeah, I mean, is he, like, the wrestlers don't even like Kiyomiya anymore, right? Like, they've, like, called him a geek to his face. And are like, disappointed.
Well, that's the way, I mean, yeah.
I feel like the only one that, like, still has kind of, like, any sort of, like, hope in him maybe is Keno. And that's just because, like, him and Keno are, like, from the same generation pretty much of guys that they were pushing. And so he's like, if it's over for this guy, fuck. Like, you know, it can't be that done that soon, can it? Like,
they're blonde brothers, man.
Yeah, they had that shitty All Rebellion faction together a while back ago. Yeah, it's pretty bleak. But you know, hey man, that's what happens when you know, you rely on notably giving and unselfish Keiji Muto to get you over.
Hey man, it could be worse. They could be TNA. You know,
they're not far.
I mean, I can't think of the last time TNA has had like a really good match with wrestlers who are currently still in the company. I mean, I'll say this: Kenta versus Mr. Smack Daddy was pretty good, pretty great match. Match of the year, some would say.
Yeah. Those some are few, I think, but they are okay. Sure. They are at the main event level certainly much more better off than TNA in the sense that they are like a real promotion still.
Right.
But you know, I think they are clearly infected with the same wanting to be bought up by the Federation virus that so many companies got infected by in like 2022, 2023. So we'll see how that plays out.
Marufuji saw that cushy Legends deal that Muda ended up with, and he was like, maybe I could get some of that.
Hey, he loves WWE so much, he's like innovating on their botches, remember?
That's right.
I did.
He watches the product.
He was showing CM Punk how it's done, brother.
That was hilarious, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe this is how we get the Punk Kenta match, not the Forbidden Door shit.
Look, if you only look at like the top 4 people in their main event scene and nothing else, they're not that bad. Don't look at the tag division, brother. Don't look at Hank and Tank. Don't look at them. Remember the good days when we had Omos ruling the tag division?
Oh, take me back.
Take me back. But yeah, any other news? I don't think we've had anything crazy happen this week. Been pretty slow news week.
Well, if you want to skip over the fact that Zion Quinn and Odyssey Jones are going to be facing Renayabe and Talos for the finals of the Real World Tag League in All Japan Pro Wrestling, that's your business. But I need to have that known right now.
Have you sent this message into the group chat before? Because I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've ever hearing any of those names.
No, this is all yeah.
Like, if you want me to talk about it, you gotta at least send it, brother. Because there's no way I'm getting All Japan Twitter. Like, I'm sorry,
like, these
and I know you're not watching
in
it.
You don't know shit about what I'm not watching. But, you are correct on this front. I'm not watching All Japan Pro Wrestling in 2025.
Yeah, you said the words.
I thought it needed to be hammered home that as bad as things look for Noah, it could always be worse.
I just remember that Zion Quinn had a burning hammer one time, and Walker Stewart tweeted about it. And he's like, watch Champion Carnival. I was like, maybe I will. And then I didn't.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Yeah, if I can't watch the G1, there's no way I'm watching AJPW. So, yeah.
You got to tune in for Tag League, bro.
I keep saying that, but the problem is Cooper's like, are we going to watch this 5-hour pay-per-view and talk about it? And I'm like, we probably should. So I'm like, I better get on.
There is only so much time.
It was like the 1 week I was like not flying by the seat of my pants until Cooper said, are we going to talk about Final Battle? And I was like, oh my gosh, we do. Because I was actually watching Collision, but then I didn't get to finish Collision until now. So maybe I would have watched some Tag League, but no, I keep saying on air that I'm gonna watch these things. And I don't
the immediate retraction. That was great. You didn't even give it like a second to like form there.
No. I will watch the finals, and I will go back and watch some matches. Hopefully this week. Maybe I would say during the drive, but I'm gonna be driving all the way to North Carolina, and I'm gonna be driving all the way back. And Cooper's gonna provide us with some good music. That's typically how our road trips go. So.
Goddamn right. It's just gonna be Bree mode over and over again, 24/7.
I will throw you out of the car. Bree mode. That was fun. If you don't play Bullet, you're also gonna get kicked out.
Oh man.
It'll be like that John Mulaney bit where they played like What's New Pussycat on the jukebox for the whole night. But they're like, for every 5 What's New Pussycats, we need 1 It's Not Unusual. For every 5 bullets, I need 1 shot 'em. That's my promise.
Jack, have you checked your wedding registry? Because it said like you could give song suggestions on it.
Go on ahead.
I did put.
You've added them. You've added them
on the song suggestion sheet, and I'm not gonna apologize for it. I said, "What's the funniest song I could put?" I swear, if your DJ ever plays that, I'm gonna lose my marbles.
Oh man!
I should put what is it? The deviled eggs in the
yes. Devil in Your Six.
Devil in Your Six. Also by
that's classic.
Q Brick. Do they still come out to that, or is that just like on?
I got no idea. I have no idea.
I haven't watched the Good Brothers match in quite a while as the resident Good Brothers guy.
But you're gonna be tuning in on January 1st, aren't you?
Well, yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
I can tell you that I think Doc Gallows at least still comes out to Devil in Your Six because he walked out to it in the middle of what looked like a playground in Rome, Georgia, for an action show.
Dude, we need to go to one of these.
Just happened to watch one time. Yeah,
I'll say this: who of the two Good Brothers do you think is the better podcaster?
Oh, it's got to be Doc Dangley.
It is Doc Dangley. Yeah. Anderson is good when he is alone. Like, he's a good, like, he can hold. When I heard him talk about his G1 run, I'm like, this is very good. But once you get the two of them together, he is like, he's saying the same sentence over and over, brother. He cannot stand the aura of Doc Dangley. Pretty funny stuff.
Well, few can.
You can. But let's go ahead and go to actual wrestling. Ring of Honor's final battle aired from GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio this Friday, which coincidentally also Collision held from.
Yeah, they stuffed as many sweaty nerds into one building as they possibly could, which, in other words, it was a Saturday night AEW show. So,
my question...
Or Friday night, I guess.
My question, though, is, I guess if you went to GalaxyCon, did you just get a ticket for free?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea how they set this up.
Or was it like an add-on or something like that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I could see maybe it being like listed as like an event on the con pay. I know, like, just anecdotally, Dragon Con in Atlanta has had some wrestling stuff over there before, and I'm pretty sure that was free entry as well. But yeah, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. Because I know it was like it was featured like as part of GalaxyCon, so I was interested if it was, because that'd be crazy, like the first time you ever go to a wrestling show, and like especially because like when they ran Collision, spoiler alert, there was Harley Quinn in the crowd, which
yeah.
Josh Alexander referred to as freaks and furries, and it's like, you know, there could be someone, and I could see someone like, okay, I'm an AEW fan, I'm cosplaying, I'm just going to go in my cosplay. But I can also see it as like, oh, there's like a show I can go to, you know, and I'm also just happen to be in my costume, you know? Like, it'd be very funny, though, if there's just a bunch of like random... They should do one, and you have to wear costumes to this event.
Yeah. An all cosplay crowd.
Dude.
I mean, it's more likely than you think, probably,
for sure.
with AEW's demographics.
I'll never forget Fake Liger walking around the whole, what was that, Hammerstein residency?
Yes, yeah. Or no, Fake Liger, I think, was at the like weird looking Chicago venue.
That might be.
It was at Windy City Riot.
Yeah.
Also, we didn't mention
that was insane.
Yeah, Jack, do you want to talk about your favorite wrestler making a comeback?
Who are you talking? What?
Jushin Thunder Liger. He had his first
return. Oh my God, no!
I
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, until I said Liger. Like, wait,
oh
he came back
God,
this
bro.
week.
No, that was this week. Was that really since we last recorded?
I think around. We didn't
fucking,
talk about it
no,
last
that was
time.
ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it.
We didn't know. No, you don't get
That's
to
funny.
choose not to.
Have y'all seen like? Sorry.
Go ahead. You got it.
Have y'all seen like everyone posting the picture of him doing backstage comments during his retirement tour, and he was like, "I was worried about retiring at first, but then Muto told me that you can just unretire anytime you want."
Yeah.
So I guess
like
fair
I said,
enough.
famously unselfish and giving
Right.
Muto.
No, I mean, it's obviously a travesty and an insult to everything I care about, but that's par for the course with a lot of wrestling nowadays.
I was at like what, WrestleCade?
I think it was called WrestleCade.
Was that the same event that they had the Good Brothers versus Bro Dito?
I hope so.
Dude, imagine seeing
that would be
match
appropriate.
into a Liger return on a random like. Out of such an insane whiplash. Now, would you be mad he unretired if you were just in the building, though, Jack? That's my question for you. So you got to see a Liger match.
Yeah, yes, because it was a match against Joey Janela in like 5 minutes.
But you could still say you saw him wrestle.
Oh,
That's
man.
like a bucket list thing.
I guess so. I don't know. I think well, first off, I would never be there, Logan.
That's true.
That's the first thing.
You wouldn't be there for Doc Dangley?
No, I don't think so.
Damn.
I mean, I get it. I get that argument, but there are things way more sacred than the audience, you know? And you can make them happy without ruining a big, meaningful retirement. But it's like this is the thing that happens always in wrestling, so it's just you just gotta push forward with your day, I guess.
I kind of love it. My two favorite things, comic books and wrestling. Nobody ever dies and nobody ever truly retires. I believe in the Terry Funk philosophy of just keep having retirement matches and then just keep coming back. For the good wrestlers, it's kind of base.
Well,
I guess. I mean, that's true of a lot of things.
Do you think that Liger's unretirement in this case is based, Logan?
I don't think it's based on who he went against and the crowd he wrestled for, but I think it's I think it's cool that he decided, you know what? I just want to lace up the boots one more time.
Okay.
It is funny. I mean, it's funny to laugh at wrestlers sometimes in like a, haha, they're so carny, it's fine to expect this sort of way. But I mean, I like sincerity still. You could kill me if you want, but I like sincerity in my wrestling, and so it does kind of tick me off on some level.
I know. When I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
this is going to ruin Jack's day. I was like,
It really does.
But
piss me off.
you have to see it though. Like
No,
like
you think I should go and watch the match?
no, not the match. I'm just saying, like, there was no way you could have avoided that.
Oh, sure.
I saw it on Brett Lauderdale's Twitter, and I was like, what the...
Yeah. I saw people posting about it on, like, all the Discords, and I was like, this can't be real. But it was real. It's always real.
What if it was just, like, someone in a Liger outfit?
That's what I was thinking.
I also thought it was that, but I feel like that would have come out by now if that was the case.
I mean, how would you know, though? If they got someone who was...
What if it was Chicago Liger?
Oh, he's just been training.
He got in a
this
bit
whole
better
time.
shape and went to, got down to GCW.
Yeah, because I remember when he was on the Jericho Cruise, and I'm like, wait, he's not wrestling on that. And they're like, no, he's just a guest of honor. And then it's just, of all GCW-affiliated show, that's where we're going to have a like
Yeah.
It'd be more funny if he just showed up on a random, like, he showed up at Freedoms or something like that in Japan.
Yeah.
That'd be more based. But, yeah, sucks. And then we got the discussion about the corpse of Antonio Inoki versus the different boy, Jimmy Lloyd.
Right, Jimmy Lloyd.
And I said that would be kind of base, and you're like, no, it wouldn't. And I'd be like, no. And I was like, come on.
Logan, you gotta stop just saying the word based.
You can't.
Like, it's become like a tick in your head now.
The funny thing, if we've said before it was announced this week, if one of us just came up with what if the Good Brothers faced Kiyomiya and Jack Morris at the New Year, you'd be like, oh, that'd be kind of based.
Yeah,
but it's real.
I would say anything. Of course, it has the Good Brother.
You got
in
him
it.
so fucking good.
Yeah,
that was the perfect.
The Good Brothers are in that match. Of course, I'm gonna think it's based. I think anything.
You bring these things into reality, Logan.
Awesome. I'm here for my boys getting booked. All right.
Oh my god.
Getting that bread. That's all that matters in this business. Look. Am I saying it would be a good match? But just the idea of Antonio Inoki standing across the ring from a guy called a different boy.
Oh my god, bro.
It just tickles me silly, man. Like, it's like a so bad it's good type of thing. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm... No, come
really.
on, bro. Come on. He starts fighting Jimmy Lloyd.
He gets down on his back like in the alley.
See, now Cooper's coming around to it. I got him.
Okay, so here's the thing though. I am imagining zombie Antonio, like straight up,
Right.
like, pulling out from the ground, like right now. Like that's, so.
Oh, wow. What if it was just like an Evil Dead skeleton, but with the black trunks on?
yeah, and the scarf and all that.
Yeah,
the towel,
My thing is
Wow.
and you got to understand my vernacular here. If I say based, I think that's awesome. If I say kind of based, that means it's like, that's funny, man. That's kind of awesome.
There's levels
You know?
to based.
If I say it's the same thing as that's awesome. But awesome's like, that's a Noah Phillips thing, He's claimed that word. But
okay, well,
Ring of Honor final
you realize
battle.
we have like fucking 5 shows to review.
Yeah, Ring of Honor
right?
final battle started off with the Ring of Honor women's pure title, the end of the tournament that lasted God knows how long, and
since like last year.
And someone didn't even have to wrestle a semifinal match because someone got injured. So Deonna Purrazzo versus friend of the show, Big Billy Starks. I really like this match, mainly because I just like Billy Starks. So, and I like her limb selling a lot, and I really dug the finish, though I wanted her to win. What did you think?
Yeah. I like this match a ton. I thought it was a great opener to the show, really. And yes, obviously, our very good personal friend, William Starks, helped a lot in that. But I do want to shout out Deonna Purrazzo. I think that she looked like a beast here. This is the best that I've seen her look since, like, she had this feud with Thunder Rosa on pretty much exclusively, like, on Collision and Rampage a couple years ago, that I thought was, like, really underrated. But yeah, she took advantage as like very much the veteran, like, kind of, just like kind of just like this big bully who was going to try to stomp out Billy's arms. And yeah, Billy Starks is selling, especially like just her screaming. Like,
yeah,
she gets tossed out to the outside, and like her shoulder gets rammed into every surface imaginable. Like, yeah, it was just like this really visceral kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I was very skeptical about the women's pure title tournament stuff, just because I mean, it's the same concerns that I had about like the women's tag titles in AEW. It's just like, okay, they're gonna draw this out way longer than necessary and not really give much focus to it. But I will say, I am just such a big mark for pure rules matches, just generally speaking, that I am probably just more likely to watch these defenses than I am for like a regular tag match. Yeah, so I do think that Deonna was the right choice to go with for a first champion. Billy is somebody that I think always works well chasing. I mean, they've had her chase the women's title for God knows how long, probably too long. She can either continue to fight Deonna to try to get that title back, or she can move on to other stuff and into a different program and be just as fine all the same. So
yeah, I'm
gonna let my cat in real quick. She's crying.
Yeah, no, I can hear her from outside the door. Personally, I'm really hoping they push her back to the main event scene. It said on commentary that she's main evented Final Battle the 2 previous years and lost both times. Sucks. But I still think she should be the one to dethrone Athena. I also really dug Deonna as a first champ because I think they really put it over well on commentary. In the whole tournament, like the 8 pure matches she had, this was like the first pure match she ever had to use one rope break. And so, like, when you're building someone up like that, especially in that type of stipulation where she seems very much like it's her bread and butter, like, I think Deonna could hold this title for a long time, and I think the pure division is definitely going to be built around her. Like, I don't see anybody taking that title off her for a while, especially she's only used one rope break in 9 matches or whatever.
Yeah, I loved how they built up to that, to her using. Even as somebody who has not been paying attention to the tournament, it felt like a really big deal.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what she does. I've always liked Purrazzo. I feel like she's like gotten and lost her footing a lot of times with AEW, and she's definitely felt unhappy. So I'm happy for her to get a big win. I think Billy's such a, like, even when I'm like, okay, Purrazzo's winning this match, she garners so much sympathy, even when she's like the heel, and it might be a problem of like her being as a heel, but like, like she's the one who's like been attacking Purrazzo and stuff, but like when Purrazzo's putting her in this hold, I'm like, and she's like screaming, I'm like, I feel really bad for her.
Yeah,
it's not like
I would say that's probably like my one kind of concern or gripe, I guess, about the match is I think the heel face dynamics were a little like
muddy,
loosey goosey, and weird, and by the end of it, by the time when like Deonna really like fucking locks in and is like, all right, fuck you, I'm gonna break your arm.
Yeah, and it's like kicking her in the head too.
Yeah, by that point, I feel like it really locked in, but until then, I was kind of in this wishy-washy kind of zone of like, okay, well, Deonna's doing things that are sympathetic, and Billy's doing things that are sympathetic, so.
Well, it's kind of been heel versus heel, too, when you think about it, because Deonna, especially a lot in her AEW run recently, unless she's just changed in Ring of Honor, she was definitely a heel. And Billy's, very much heel to tweener type of status, and it seems like from a lot of tournaments she's been like, finding cheap ways to win or stuff like that. But, I don't know. At any point, Billy Starks can just garner sympathy from me. We haven't mentioned Jon Moxley was on commentary during this match. And let me hit you with the quote of the year about Billy Starks. He said, "It wouldn't be shocked if you saw her coming from an Avril Lavigne concert, but at the same time, she could be backstage smoking Marlboros and drinking whiskey."
Who are we to say otherwise?
I don't even think Billy Starks is 21.
She's not.
She's like, what, 20?
Yeah, she's like maybe 20.
Moxley is a very interesting commentator, to say the least. He will either hit something that will make you die.
He's really good, I think, when he wants to.
When he wants to be. Like, when he
focuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and you could definitely see it during the night. His problem is, he is like a very, like, I love hearing him talk. He's a very drawed out speaker. So a lot of times, like, when you need to say a tidbit that needs to be quick, he will, until he finishes that tidbit.
Yeah.
But, like, some of the tidbits he had, I'm like, this really makes me think differently about this match and stuff like that, And he's just hilarious when he wants to be, too. But you can definitely see him get stun locked a little bit. I don't think he would go into commentary after his career kind of winds down, but, like, I kind of would dig it if he just, like, once in a while, just does a couple matches of commentary. It's very, very enjoyable to watch either way. You're getting something out of it. We then move on to the men's Pure title. We had the longest reigning Pure champion, Lee Moriarty, versus Nigel McGuinness in a 30-minute Ironman match. That is
the second longest Pure champion.
And some would say the greatest
champion. That's what I was trying to say.
Some would say the greatest.
I would say the greatest.
I would say the greatest. Caprice Coleman said the greatest. But this is a 30-minute Ironman match. Because it is an Ironman match, the Pure title is not on the line because it does not fall under Pure rules, because Pure rules have, I think, a 20-minute time limit or something like
that. Yes, generally, yeah.
Which they always had the time limit. But I thought it was.
I think that's right.
Yeah. So there was no burning rope breaks, no closed fists, normal Ironman, because it was just who was the better man on the night. And I really, really liked this match, and it was going to be match of the year with me until some parts later at the end. I want to hear what you have to say first, and I'll explain why.
Okay, now that I figured that might be your concern is towards that final stretch, and I do get it. It did not fully like hit on the dot, but I was personally so entertained and so engrossed in the preceding 29 minutes that I did not really care a thing in the world about it. Certainly while I was watching it, and even still now. And I thought that it could set up a like rubber match down the line, where if granted, I don't know if this is the direction that they want to put this in, because Nigel was very old in wrestler years, but his in-ring return has been very sporadic, and for good reason. But so I understand their hesitations about maybe putting a belt on him. But if they wanted to, I think that would be super neat. And the way that this ended up with the overtime, I thought is maybe an interesting way to get there, if that's where they want to go. But yeah, I mean, really though, the meat of the match I thought was just absolutely stellar. And Nigel, you can tell like the time off and the age and all those years spent away from the ring, I think informed these new matches in a way that I think a lesser wrestler would not be able to really tap into and make it as interesting as Nigel makes it. From the Bryan match onwards, every time that he's gotten in there, it has, you know what it is? It feels like he's trying to teach his opponent something, and also that he's trying to teach himself at the same time. And that's, I think, what I really, really like about it. Mm-hmm. And Lee Moriarty is a really great kind of dance partner to tell that story with. I have been kind of back and forth on Lee's pure title reign, partially, and once again, I don't watch Ring of Honor regularly. I don't watch the weekly show that they do, so I don't know how often he's defending it there. But at least on like, their pay-per-views are just kind of like too spread out to have this pure title really be like a like consistent draw for me to keep coming back in. But even that, and I feel like Lee's defenses particularly have been maybe more sporadic, and that might not be like factually true or anything. I'd have to look it up, but that's how it's felt for me. And of course he has other pursuits outside of wrestling. I know his art is very important to him, and he has a lot of like gallery showings and stuff like that. Which is insane because I think when he really gets the chance to devote his time to the in-ring stuff, I think he is great. The only thing really that I think I maybe wish from Lee Moriarty at this point is I like the Shane Taylor pairing. Mm-hmm. I do. I don't, of the STP kind of grouping right now, Lee feels like the most attached.
Yes.
And that came into play in this match in a way that I liked, but I feel like it took them maybe too long to get there, because by the end of this match, Shane Taylor is by Lee's side for this whole thing, and he's really emphasizing for him to play out the time, because he's ahead on points and he doesn't need to get in there and fight with Nigel or anything. He just needs to go on the outside, stall. He can take his time. But Lee wants to, actually go and do it to prove himself. And I like that back and forth, and I like that tension. But for the most part, he in the interactions with STP beforehand that I've seen, he just kind of is either A, not there at all, or B, like when he is with them, he just has such a different vibe.
Yeah,
like he doesn't feel like the same kind of guy as Carly Bravo and Sean Dean. It doesn't. I don't get the sense that like he would hang out with these guys. That's kind of my thing. And so they feel like such an odd pairing. I don't know why I went down that tangent, but yeah. What I'm endpoint, when he's in a situation like this where you give him time and you let him and Nigel, who already have this interesting shared history from their last year's Final Battle match, I loved it. I thought it was great.
So I really loved most of this match, and I think it still gets a match of the year with me because I was very captivated. And again, like if I can get where I'm like, no, that's a good match to me. That is a quantifying of especially like something that like I was into, but I'd already known the result. I saw the graphic of him handing him the original Pure title, so it's like I assumed Lee won. And I really, really dug the structure of this match because like most are like, okay, they get a couple ahead and they'll get a couple and they go for the big final fall at the end or will tie or stuff like that. But in this one, it felt like every time, especially for those first 20, 25 minutes, Nigel like started working on Lee. Lee would just get out of it and, basically even when Nigel got points, Lee would just get another quick one, and keep getting him behind the 8 ball. And I liked having Shane there. My issue is, and I think it was a little bit of a bad clock management. It just like the timing was a little off, but I think I loved the Nigel comeback. I loved him getting 2 and running out to the ring and having the fist pump in the air. I don't think
I really bid on it. I was like, oh shit, they're doing it.
Yeah. The reason I don't think they're going to do a rubber match, and this is why I didn't like it, is because this was in their minds the rubber match. So Lee beat Nigel last year at Final Battle, right? And what you're forgetting, and what I forgot, because I'm like, they said they're 1-1 on commentary. Nigel, when he got the opportunity to wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door, it was a match between him, Hechicero, Daniel Garcia, and Lee, and he tapped out Lee to get that opportunity. So in their mind, this is it doesn't matter at the Pure title. We're 1-1. You won Pure rules. I beat you. In this match, you tapped out to the London Dungeon. Let's see, who's better. And so the whole time I'm thinking, oh, Lee might just like straight up just be Nigel's too old and be the member. And I still think that's an interesting match, though I want Nigel to win because I'm a huge homer. But then when Nigel came back, and especially like him running the referee, and then Shane Taylor, especially because like the whole time, either we're doing too much heelish stuff. I mean, Lee was obviously like, the fans were more into Nigel, but like there were still a lot of fans who were into Lee. And like even with Shane there, it never felt like this was a true contest between the two of them kind of thing. And so when Shane jaw-jacks him, not only did he jaw-jack him, I could live with that, but it's the jaw-jack, him getting the pin, the time being at 0 before the 3 and them not ringing the bell because they screwed up the finish. And then Nigel walking away at the tie, and they're like, no, we got to see who's the better man. I'm like, you cheated for the last fall. It just didn't.
Well, I mean, I think they set up, though, pretty obvious. Like, that was Shane taking matters into his own hands. Like, that was not.
Oh, I know.
Anything that Lee was interested in. And so that final fall is for Lee. Like, he's making that call by himself.
For sure. And I agree with that. But, like, And I like the way they ended it with like Shane still jawing at Nigel and Lee showing him the respect, and still like I think they are gonna get that split from STP soon. Between Lee, I think. I mean, at this point, he's carved his own path, kind of thing. And I mean, and they were kind of putting that over on commentary too. That like Shane Taylor, not someone that's looking. They'll let you do what you want to do, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But like it just kind of irked me with like a contest of who's the better man, kind of thing. With him being, I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me completely. Now, it doesn't take away from the whole match. It was some of the most fun I've had casually watching wrestling in a long time. It just felt so organic and fun, and the build was so well done. That just, like, the ending, just a tiny bit, like, sullied me on, not, like, the whole match, just sullied me on, like, that ending and that, like, him handing the pure title. Because I'm like, he didn't beat you, bro. Sure. You take that title with you. Yeah. You earned that, bro. You got cheated. I was like,
right.
But yeah, I bet too. I was like, he's gonna win. And then like when they started pinning too, I was like, time's expired. Ring that bell. It doesn't count. But no, I did really like this match. It is a match of the year. It's like borderline for me because of the finish. Kind of. Again, there's certain things in wrestling that like, if you have a botch, whatever. But like messing up the finish is like a hard thing to sell unless it's like a cool botch, like the Mercedes Moné small package where she DDT'd Jamie Hayter. That like it was a botch, but it helped the match, it elevated it, But yeah, I still think it was I was really into it though. I don't know, it irked me a little bit. But
I get it.
Then we move on to the TV title, right? Women's TV title is Mercedes.
Women's TV title, yes.
Yep, Mercedes versus Red Velvet, who was not wearing red. She was wearing green. Green.
I know. Didn't have a hint of red on her. Because she used to dye her hair red either.
Yep.
But yeah, she didn't do that.
I'm sorry. You can't be called Red Velvet and have no red. You have to have red in the wardrobe somewhere.
Yeah.
You can do green and red. It could be festive. We're in December.
Yeah, Christmas time.
Christmas time. This was a really...
Mercedes had more red than Red Velvet.
That is true. This was a really good match.
Yeah, it was.
This was phenomenal.
This rocked.
I've never been like... It's been a while since I've really watched Red Velvet because, she was on TV for a lot of the early years of AEW, building up her stock, and then as soon as Ring of Honor and like Rampage kind of died out, she was fully Ring of Honor zone, and she's been injured for a while. And, like, even that TV match where Mercedes won it, I wasn't, like, the most impressed on Red. But I was like, yeah, give her the title after this. I mean, I really love the structure. She was just ticked off the whole time. And really taking it to Mercedes. Like, I don't think most people on the roster have. A lot of people, like, let her do her shit. She's like, nah, I'm taking that belt. It's coming home with me. And I just really, I thought a lot of her offense looked so, maybe it's because like her Mercedes was they really worked it out and they were a good pairing, but like it felt so fluid. Like a lot of the counters and stuff like that.
Oh my God, dude, that, like, spinning sunset
off the top
thing off the top. Oh my God.
I was like, what are you? Holy! I was like,
yeah.
Insane. But yeah, I really dug like because I saw that again. Some of these spoilers I had seen. Final Battle I had seen the spoilers. I watched Dynamite. I had seen the Collision spoilers except for the conglomeration match, plus Roger Strong. But like I was like, how do they do it here? And I mean, yeah, I believe her as the girl who started Mercedes' downfall almost, other than like not winning the world title. And this feels so huge too,
Yeah.
As like a stamp of someone who's like, this is the first crack in Mercedes' armor. And I really like too, like the backstage they did afterwards with Layla coming out.
Oh, that was great.
Give me that title. Yeah. I want to let you talk a little bit about this match.
No, yeah, I really, really dug it too. More than I was expecting to. I have seen a couple of Red Velvet matches from kind of this time where she's been, working ROH mostly, and she's had really, really great matches before. I know she was in the initial tournament for the inaugural women's television title holder, which Billie Starkz won. But she had a match in there that I thought was really great. I forget against who all of a sudden. I forget if it was Billie Starkz or Queen Manana. It was either Starkz or Aminata. Mm-hmm. So she's shown to me like flashes of brilliance before. I think she's still maybe a little inconsistent for me to like fully latch onto as like, okay, like I need to watch, every Red Velvet title defense match now. Mm-hmm. But that being said, it was like the perfect use of her in this position with this story with Mercedes. It just felt like she had such a real like fire under her to get that title back. And made a match that on paper I was maybe a little cold on, in part because I thought, this is like the most predictable match on the card. But even if it didn't have the shock upset at the end, I feel like I still would have really, really dug this. So yeah, I mean, definitely shouts out to both of these women for absolutely making the best out of this.
For sure. Yeah, I thought this was great. And then I think it was the tag match.
Yes.
Did you?
It was the I did. I watched every match on the show.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Take it away, Cooper.
There's not much. I mean,
2 enemies of the show means I'm skipping this match. Sammy Guevara and Adam Priest. And I'm supposed to root for Priest.
Okay, funny thing about Priest in this. So him and Billington make their entrance together to Rule Britannia. And so for a second, it's like Adam Priest. They're trying to like pass off Adam Priest as British by proxy, which was hilarious to me.
Sorry, I know I've been silent for a while, but that cracked me up.
Yeah,
go England.
And he, I mean, there was some fun stuff like at the very, very start with Sammy and Mortos doing a yay boo segment for each other. Sammy would raise his arms up, everybody boo. Mortos raised his arms up, everybody cheers. That's nice because it reinforces that Beast Mortos is good and that Sammy Guevara is there. But yeah, I mean, look, the action was technically very good. Not much that I can really remember. Priest and Billington are a really good tag team. I would not mind seeing them hold these titles eventually, actually. I would not mind that one bit. I would like them to stop referring to the fact that they are like trained by Jay Lethal. So like that's the weird, like that makes no sense whatsoever. Jay Lethal is not the kind of wrestler that like these guys are. So La Facción Ingobernable regains the belts that they didn't lose either. Same old business as usual.
No free birds rule in Ring of Honor, I guess.
Apparently not. Apparently, your boy that wins it with you needs to stick with you.
I don't think there's ever been a free birds rule in AEW at all. Can you think of any?
No, because even as far back as when like SCU won the tag belts, it was always Sky and Daniels, and it was never Daniels and Kazarian.
Wait, it was
defending those belts.
Was it not Sky and Kazarian and then Daniels?
Sky and Kazarian.
they're in the same faction, but Sky and Daniels sounds like the most cursed pairing to me. So I was like, that can't be true. Well, I just remember because whenever the Bang Bang Gang won the trios titles and Jay got injured.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I was about to say they were the two bald members, but back then Kaz was also he was shaving. He was bald too. They were all bald
yes.
in SCU.
Kaz was bald?
Kaz got bald later, yeah.
I don't remember him bald. I mean, probably.
No, he did. He was shaving his head during that time.
Look, man, just because your teammates are bald does not mean you have to, in solidarity, like.
And then he left for a little bit, and then he came back. He was the elite hunter.
Yes, he was.
Oh my god! And he lost to Dangly.
He did lose to Dangly. Base Dangly. Hey man, he was shouting out the GOAT, the Bullet Club hunter Yoshitatsu. You know.
Exactly.
Is that true base Dangly or just kind of base Dangly?
That is base Dangly, full base Dangly. Beating that elite hunter guy. What elite hunter? He's not even in the elite. And he beat him. That's why he beat him. Because he wasn't the elite, you know? He couldn't hunt him. But yeah, we then move on. Eddie Kingston versus Josh Woods.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like going off memory, so if I'm wrong, you got to correct me.
No, that's right.
Yeah. You have a lot to say about this one. I want to hear your thoughts, and I'll let mine known.
I love this match. I thought this match was awesome. I texted you like right after I watched it, and I told you to go watch this show, and I said that it had the best Eddie Kingston match since his return, and I'm right, aren't I?
You're right.
Yeah. Man, like that's I don't know why on this random Ring of Honor pay-per-view he decided to turn it on. Even like the match against Shibata on Collision that like had that great promo at the end of it. That match itself was like whatever, that's fine. But this felt like Eddie was really back in it and really wanted to, you know, I'm telling you, it's just about getting that fire under you, and you know, even against somebody who I do not care about, like Josh Woods, like, you know, he let himself get thrown around like a rag doll for like a long time. Made the comeback feel really like a struggle, and like, you know, he was like pulling in the crowd's energy to get through it. You know, the only thing really about it is, I guess, like you can say, oh, the finish was just a DDT, but like, I don't know, man. It felt like he put some stank on it. Like, you know, I like that. I kind of bought that DDT finish even. Yeah, if this is a preview of Winter is Coming, then sign me the fuck up. Like, I am absolutely here if this is the kind of match and the kind of performance that he wants to put forward against Samoa Joe. You know, and obviously, and that's what this match was for, is basically, you know, an exhibition to Samoa Joe to show him what he's going to be getting into on Wednesday. So
on top of that, like, I really dug DDT as a finish because he had worked in the arm the whole match, and it's like, yeah you're not going to really be able to do the back fist, or if you do, you're just going to cause more damage to yourself. You got him good, you know. Let's try to. I always love unique finishes. I always like, and even like we'll get to it in these like Tana matches we're watching later. It's like, and I think Stardom does it sometimes, stuff like that, where it's like sometimes when you have a long match, you can hit a move that doesn't normally finish people, and it just does. Like I wish Tanahashi finished people with that Snapdragon more, because it just looks so beautiful.
No, it's amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing, man. Especially when he had the knees, bro. When he had the knees. But yeah, I really dug this match. I dug the finish. Josh Woods has the goods. What can I say? Former pure champ.
Note on Josh Woods. Pick a nickname. You're either the technical beast or you're the goods.
The goods.
I can't.
The goods.
I can't have. That's what they announced him at. The Bobby Cruz. He comes out. Bobby Cruz says, "Ladies and gentlemen, weighing whatever from wherever, the technical beast, Josh the Goods Woods." That's what he said, and I was like, "You gotta ditch one of them."
Yeah, probably ditch. I think the commentators. He should say as his catchphrase, "I got the goods." You know.
Sure.
Or like the commentator should say he has.
I'm happy with whatever, but pick one. All right, it's my same deal with Anthony Bowens. All right, either be the pride of pro wrestling or be the 5-tool player. You can't do both.
The pride of pro wrestling, Anthony, the 5-tool player,
5-tool player Bowens. Yeah,
at least the technical beast, Josh the Goods Woods, rolls on the tongue a lot better than the pride of pro wrestling, Anthony, the 5-tool player Bowens. Because the Goods Woods, that rhymes,
Yeah, I'm familiar with alliteration.
Are you?
But it's the principle of the thing, Logan.
I know. I like Josh Woods, and I wish they would use him more. And, because he was holding the Pure title whenever they first bought, I think, Ring of Honor. And then he immediately lost it to Wheeler, Utah. And then he was never seen again. He said, "You are in the Premier Athletes, and you are going to like
it." yeah. You clearly are not that big of a fan of him because you weren't tuning into these Premier Athlete minutes.
I don't think I'll tune into the Premier Athlete. I like some of the wrestlers in the Premier Athletes. That doesn't mean I like watching the Premier Athletes.
Not a real fan of Josh the Goods Woods, then. I don't know what to tell you.
Big Tony Nese guy. Oh, we didn't even. Well, Tony D'Angelo. But.
Let's not.
Jack got so pumped. That's his guy.
I love the guy, but it's not that important.
Did you see his beard? His beard looks crazy.
His beard was pretty sweet.
I saw somebody say that they thought he was Seth Rollins.
He does look like a COVID Rollins. But yeah, then we move on to the 6-man titles.
Yes.
All right.
That is correct.
Go ahead, brother.
Also not much here. The champions, Shane Taylor Promotions, the team of Shane Taylor and the Infantry, Carly Bravo and Sean Dean, took on Skyflight. Yes, Logan.
The captain, Sean Dean.
Sure. You didn't stop me when I didn't say bad news and tattoos, Carly Bravo.
Yeah, so. But that's the captain. That's the man that's beaten MJF, 3 times now?
That is true. He does have MJF's number. But they took on Skyflight, which is Top Flight and Scorpio Sky, because the SCU guys still need something to do. They're still under contract, I guess. So, look, this was a fine little trios match. The most memorable thing for me really was actually the fact that the captain, Sean Dean, just really likes to talk now during his matches, which I don't remember him doing before. But there was one spot particularly, I believe, when Shane Taylor just completely stiffed on I forget who it was, either Scorpio or one of the Top Flight guys, and so they roll out to the outside, they're dead, and Captain Sean Dean looks into the camera and he just yells at the top of his lungs, "That's a man! That's a man right there!" And I was just like, okay, Sean. Yeah, I mean, is whatever. Shane Taylor Promotions got the win, which is good because they are crazy over. These people were chanting STP I don't know, it was yes in 2013. But I like I said, I like Shane Taylor Promotions as a group, but notable by his absence here, Lee Moriarty did not accompany them to the outside, while Trish Adora and Anthony Ogogo did. So, and if that's intentional, if that's part of the story that they're telling, is that he is becoming more distant from them, then cool, that could be something. But if that's not, then it's just kind of a weird look. So,
for sure. But yeah, survival of the fittest.
No.
No?
Nope.
What am I missing?
You're missing the first defense of the AEW national title.
Oh, yeah!
Ricochet and Dalton Castle.
The last match I skipped because it wasn't a Ring of Honor title, so I'm not thinking about it. I was like, there's no other Ring of Honor titles other than the World and the Women's, other than the TV one, which Nick Wayne is currently injured. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yep,
you also lead this one off because I did not watch this match. Though I wanted to, it was just like I have to watch all the C2 matches, or Cooper will yell at me if I don't watch them on Collision, or skip Mr. Planet Peacock.
Well, I'll tell you what. You should go back and rewatch this. I thought this was really, really good. Dalton Castle, for as big of a character as he is legitimately a really great wrestler. And I mean, like, in the real sense of that of the word. A lot of his offense is very amateur wrestling, kind of Greco-Roman style stuff, and he is freakishly strong too. Like, I've seen this guy. He'll just like snatch somebody up from out of nowhere and throw him across the ring. Like, it's really impressive, the kind of stuff that he can do. And Ricochet, for his part also. I feel like it's been well documented at this point. This AEW run has seen him get a little extra pep in his step, and he's not quite Mr. Flippy, do flips that you've never seen before kind of Ricochet, but he makes up for that by being really effective as this kind of cocky, sort of just prickish heel that buys into his own hype too much, and that you just really love to see get taken down a notch. But yeah, so this one, the work from Castle in particular, particularly early on, was just really like beautiful to watch, I thought. And reminded me of a lot of the technical work that was showcased in the Moriarty McGuinness match. And reminded me that I would really love to see like a pure rules Dalton Castle. That would be really fun. But Ricochet, pulls out. I think he wins with the Spirit Gun again, which is interesting that they're. Yeah, got to load it up, point, shoot. But yeah, it's interesting that they're going so hard on that move. I mean, I get why, because it's like the safest thing that he does. But I remember when it first debuted, and we were all kind of like, "Really? That's it?" But no, I mean, they've kind of built it up to be sort of a legit finisher now. So,
well, it's just the reverse hidden blade.
Yeah, but that's the deal, because it's reverse. It doesn't, I think, look at
as bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always.
But yeah, no.
Did he, when he hit it? Was it like out of nowhere, or did he still do the whole animation?
I think he did a shortened version of the emote. It wasn't like the full like clock and point kind of thing, but I think he did like point and do that. So
it always cracks me up when he does that every time, and like in a good way of like, because I mean, like, of course Ricochet would have some crappy move called the Spirit Gun that looks weak but puts people away. Like, and it does look fine. It looks good enough. It doesn't look like, okay, this is the worst move ever.
He's gotten better at it.
Yes.
I will say, as time's gone on. When it first came out, it looked like he didn't quite know what to do with it either. Mm-hmm. So it's just dead audio.
Dead audio. They probably heard me smacking my hands a couple times. But yeah,
well, now we get into survival of the fittest.
Yuck. Brother. They all came out Vanilla Baby came out with a swirl Bandito mask with no white on this man. He's not. I guess his white was his skin. Not the Jack Harlow theme, right? Not to the Jack Harlow song.
No, they still have not gotten that.
Tony Khan just cannot get his hands on it.
Yeah. So it was a vanilla cone for like the under part of the bandit mask part of it. But the swirl of ice cream on top of his head or like over his eyes was purple. What was that? What are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, this match was Bandito, we gonna get you out, brother. Bandito, we're gonna get you out.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like,
no.
And I understand their hands were tied. They had to change the LFI tag things and the thing, but like you could have just done like the Beast Mortos' big day where he wrestles twice and that's it, you know, or like had Dralistico defend it with Sammy and make make it freaking Freebird rules, so you don't have to do all the weird stuff because like Mortos was so over.
Well, Logan, if they made the Freebird rule, that would not be in the tradition of the Ring of Honor tag team titles, and you know how much Tony Khan loves him a tradition.
He does love him a tradition. But yeah, all right, let me just run through this match real quick. We get out. There is the team of Sammy Guevara, Beast Mortos, obviously the Ring of Honor tag champions, and Hechicero, who helped them win the tag titles. They're working together, and then Commander and Bandito are working together because they done in the past, and then there's just Blake Christian. So obviously the three of them start cleaning the house, and then eventually the other three end up working together. It's going a lot of back and forth, and Blake Christian jumping around a lot, and then eventually to the downfall of LFI, they turn on Hechicero stupidly. Blue-chicero, should I say, and the full blue attire.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
do kind of love
right,
the blue suede that he has on it. It looks pretty cool to me. It's not as cool as his normal attire, but like I enjoy it. Blue Tista. But they turn on Hechicero very early in the match when like they're just kind of like just doing moves at this point. There's not really any psychology. It's just like a spot fest. I think who eliminated Sammy? Was it Bandito? No, it was Bandito and Commander worked together. Commander hit that like the running moonsault off of the of the top rope to pin Sammy. Then immediately like afterwards, like in the next minute, Bandito hits like I think just like the X. No, Hechicero hits like a flipping driver onto Mortos, and immediately LFI is gone. And the crowd was very sad once the Beast was eliminated. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, Hechicero took out Mortis. It was like that head scissor.
Yeah, head scissor driver, yep. It was pretty funny for Sammy to say, I'm going to become world effing champion and then be the first one eliminated. I did enjoy that very much. Yes, get Sammy Guevara off my screen. And so LFI's gone. Then Commander was quickly taken out by Vanilla Baby. I don't remember what he did, but
it was the lethal injection.
Oh my gosh!
Because then they cut to Jay Lethal, looking disapprovingly.
Yes. Well, I was gonna mention that. I'm like, get this Bandito, we're gonna save you because, like, okay, whatever. You're running survival as a thing. This is not Honor Club. Do not cut back to Jay Lethal. This is a pay-per-view. I do not need to see Jay Lethal.
This is their first main event.
Yes,
this is how they promote this.
The co-main event, the double main event. I do not need to see Jay Lethal disapproving whenever he does a lethal injection. It is funny that they're like, he stole that walk from Jay Lethal. I'm like, I've been seeing Blake Christian do that walk on the Indies for like 3 years now, brother. I wonder though if he was just doing it anyway, and then Jay Lethal was like, "Hey man, that's my walk. We need to do a feud over it."
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, he does that. I think Bandito rolls Christian up, right?
Yeah, like from off the corner,
Yeah.
like sunset flip.
That was pretty cool. Because Bandito's awesome. And then we have Blake Christian gets very angry, and Pentagon snaps Bandito's arm. And now the dislocated shoulder that Hachiro had messed up in Arena Mexico, Hachiro goes to work on that. He's throwing him outside, throwing him into the post. Really going to work on his arm. And basically a lot of limb spots to an eventual Bandito comeback where I believe he also rolled up at Chisero.
Let me look and see real quick.
If I remember correctly, I believe it also ended on because it ended.
Oh no. Bandito pinned Hechicero after like a poison rana. It says.
Okay. But it was like a deep pin poison rana, right? It wasn't just like a. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know. I honestly kind of forgot after the second that happened.
Yeah, baby, yeah. And then Brody King and Commander come out to celebrate, and they walk to the back. This is not. This sucks. Not as in like the match was totally terrible. It's an alright match. You know, it was good. There were some good workers in it. There were some decent spots. You know, Bandito's in it and Hechicero's in it, so there's going to be a lot of fluid stuff. And the Beast is awesome. And Commander's also awesome. And you know, Vanilla Baby, he can be fine. I don't have a positive thing to say about Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara is self-aware.
In this match, I don't have a positive thing. I will say he did pop me saying I'm going to become world effing champion and then immediately getting eliminated. That got me good.
Yeah.
But like when you think of the quality of Bandito's title defenses this whole year, multiple Hechicero matches, the Takeshita match. Who else has he wrestled? He wrestled another, or maybe he didn't wrestle another Don Callis person. But just every pay-per-view they've had recently has been pretty dang, like, you go to see the Bandito match and the Athena match, you know. Those are the two things you're buying in the show for. They're just like, yep, we're going to throw him in Survival of the Fittest because our challenger got injured. It's like, just pick another challenger. Or do I understand if you want multiple opponents. Like, if you've been building up Blake Christian, you can do a three-way with him, Hechicero, and Bandito. And it wouldn't have been the best match ever, but I'm sure it would have been good. You know? But it's like, do we really need both members of LS5 and also Commander for some reason? And Commander is supposed to be getting a title, a Pure Rules title shot too, originally, but then they bumped that. So it's like, it's just a whole bunch of colluded, just like nonsense, basically, for what could have been another great showing for Bandito.
Yeah. I mean, I also, part of this too, I think, is I think I'm a little burnt out on Survival of the Fittest as a match. I know I told you this a little bit, Logan, before we were recording. But I feel like, so like when they reintroduced it, primarily for like TV title defenses, so I know there was a really great one in Kyle Fletcher's reign with it, and then I think there might have been one with like Atlantis Jr. and Brian Cage and stuff like that on it. And you know, it I think like that is probably the right kind of spot for a Survival of the Fittest. But yeah, your co-main event for your world title being essentially just the get your popcorn, a bunch of guys are going to do a bunch of spots to each other and a bunch of reversals to those spots, and they'll work it down until it's the final two, and then that's the match that you really want to see. Like, at that point, let's just cut all the fluff out. And now granted, I'm sure they have plans for another Bandito Hechicero match, so I understand maybe not wanting to do that as a singles, but you have a plenty of options, like and even if you want to make it a multi-man thing. That's fine. I don't care. But yeah, like this particular match type with these particular guys, it just made it feel really kind of perfunctory.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so on to the next one, I guess.
I will say one last thing about Survival of the Fittest, not this match in general. It can be done on a main event level. They used to do it back in the day with Ring of Honor, but the difference was they were running shows like every 2 weeks. You'd have like 26, 27, multiple shows a weekend and stuff. And so when you have your actual main event guys where you have a dedicated promotion, like if DPW ran, they did run on Survival almost like, or like that Rumble thing they ran with Priest. Like you could run that in DPW and it could work. And like if they were doing more regular big time shows and this was just like a one-off, it'd be fine. But because it's like they only do like 4 big pay-per-views for Ring of Honor a year now, you're going to waste one of those on a random for the main event title, for the world title, It's like,
right.
But then we go on to the true main event. Thank God this was the true main event. Imagine if Survival of the Fittest was the main event.
There might have been plans. I don't know.
I have plans I cannot disclose. But Persephone versus Athena, the fallen goddess, 1,100 days into her forever reign. She's a challenger from CMLL. Persephone, who's having a breakout year. I know she win CMLL's Women's Grand Prix. I know she was in it.
Persephone?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did. Let's check that out. But, I mean, in America stuff, she's starting to make more of a name for herself here. I know with all their AEW experiences, a lot of people are getting very highly on her. I did not know this was a match until I saw the pay-per-view. Like, I was like... I do be fair, they've been terrible about promoting this show. Like, that's why we got, like, a Survival of the Fittest announcement, like, the last minute.
You're not wrong about that.
Nothing.
Because I literally didn't know that this show happened until I started recording with y'all today. So,
but
right.
With that being said, this match was freaking awesome. This was awesome, bro. This is a match of the year, and I was like, I don't know what I'm sure these are two good wrestlers who look good on paper, and it was great. I also don't understand why Diamante is now a minion, but and also in weeb outfits. It is GalaxyCon, so maybe.
Well, yeah, because she's Athena's minion, and Athena's a big weeb, so yeah, she'll follow what she tells.
That is true. That is true. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not nerded up enough. I knew it was she was dressed up as a character from Demon Slayer, but I don't know what Athena was dressed up as. So
also a character from Demon Slayer.
Okay, but I only know like the main person. So when she was dressed as the main person, I'm like, I have no idea who's Athena dressed as. Again, right. I'm a nerd for a lot of things. Anime is not one of them. So, if any wrestler that comes out in anime gear, unless you're coming out in Dragon Ball, that is my sore spot. I'm not gonna know. Like I could recognize because I had seen the thing. So and like people were like Demon Slayer movie of the year. Look how big anime is now. So I was like, I know what that is, but that's my extent. But Persephone comes out and. Diamante comes out with Athena, and this match is going on the road. No Billy Starks at ringside, but she does come later on after the match is over. But
yeah, I don't know exactly what the relationship between Athena and Billy is like now. After the last singles match between the two of them, they seem to just keep threatening this kind of like split possibly, and then not really doing it, and then doing it again, and then not doing it.
Yeah. Well, I know they've been tagging pretty regularly in Ring of Honor, because like even with like the tag tournament, because I remember like that was like at least Billy was putting it over on her social media as like the whole. Whenever she's like, me and Mercedes are gonna teams like, why would you do that? You have a dedicated,
right.
And I know that like they did a segment with them two and Lexi at one point backstage. I didn't watch all of it, but I mean maybe they're teasing like fully just going full in on MIT again and now with Diamante. But So that's the thing. I'd not even seen anything about Diamante being with Athena, so I was like, what? Huh? I was like, where's Billy? But that didn't. I mean, she was barely involved in the match, and I mean, I really liked the way they put over Persephone's power in this match. Now she was kind of like how smart Athena was too. Like, no matter how good she is, like, and how cowardly Athena can be, at the end of the day, she is a very good wrestler, and she is the final boss who can just kick out of almost anything, even when you think, it can, even when you think this might be it. Because, I mean, like, Persephone hit her with her finisher, like, at the end, and like 25 minutes into the match, and it's like, nope, I'm just going to kick out of that. No getting to the ropes, no, which, like, yeah, if you had someone who's held the title for 1,100 days, it's going to take a monumental moment, to really be able to. And I really liked a lot of how they put over, like, Persephone was almost like a hothead in this match, and was like, Athena was knowing that and trying to use it against her, to really, just get her into a lot of, like smacking her in the back of the head to start with, doing a lot of stuff, outworking her in a lot of different areas, to the point where I really appreciated later on in the match when Persephone finally slammed her in the commentary table, and she turned to the commentator and she said, "Yeah, that's for you two, baby."
No, that commentary desk went through it. Billy Starks had a similar spot in the first match, and yeah, this one looked brutal.
Yep. So, what did you think, Coop?
I really, really like this match too. I wouldn't know that I would go so far as to go match of the year on it, but and granted, part of that might just be because when I watched it live, I was still kind of carrying over my apathy and malaise from the previous match, so I maybe started this off on the wrong foot. But it took them a little while to kind of get me in on it, but and there was some more stuff too, like the heel face dynamics I thought were a little off at the start here, just because not because Athena's not a heel, but because she's so incredibly over as a heel that people are starting to not really want to boo her much these days. Like, you had forever chants, going pretty hard. But Persephone, I thought, was a real standout here. This is by far, I think, the best match that I've seen her in. Really played to her strengths. And yeah, like the power spots were really great. I thought she got people on her side pretty effortlessly after like the opening kind of exchanges. And yeah, I mean, I never for a second in my mind did I ever think that she was going to win this, but I thought at the very least, she can go down as like a really tough defense for Athena, and she did, absolutely. I think that the kind of holding pattern that Athena is in right now, I don't know how much. I know we probably said this last year, but I don't know how much longer it can last, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do seriously have to start thinking about other options. Like, I think, it's all well and good to do the forever champ gimmick and everything, but like, the point of that surely is to then give whoever does take it, like, a launch to the stratosphere. So yeah, I'm interested in what comes next, but Persephone absolutely made a mark on me for this defense, and I would really like to see her. I don't want to see her, like, go full time AEW or ROH just yet. But who knows if by the time that her CMLL contract comes up and she wants to explore their options, I think that they've positioned her well if she ever wants to do that. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see, Athena. First of all, Cooper, Athena is the forever champ. Emphasis on forever.
I heard.
But no, actually, they're just letting her hold it. I think Tony, out of spite, is going to have Athena hold that title until she beats Roman's number of days for how long he held the Universal. But she's only like less than a year away. So, I mean, she's already, like 1,100. I think he went to like 1,300. She's going to let him beat Hogan. She's going to let her beat Hogan's original. Probably. Yeah, one more year. Then you can have it, Billy. It is crazy that we thought Billy, I'm like, last year, okay, this is the year. I'm like, if you do it for like the third time now, it's like, she's already lost the main event twice. Like, where do you return again? She went back to, Athena. So it's not even like, okay, she's been on her own. She's worked her way and found her own style and stuff like that. She's still, like, a minion, So it's like, I don't know unless they bring somebody else down to beat her in Ring of Honor. Who could it even be at this point? Unless you're going to do Billy again. Because, I mean, like, who on the Ring of Honor? Maybe Aminata? Maybe? I mean, they're still...
Yeah, when Aminata gets back and is healthy, yeah, that could be something.
But they were teasing her and Peraza, so I don't think, as much as I think we would like that, Tony, I still don't think sees that for her, which I don't know why, but, like, other than Aminata, I mean, there's no one that, like, is in Ring of Honor that's, like, ready for that. You know what I'm saying? That, like, you can think of personally, unless, like, I don't see, just seeing, unless they're going to bring, like, Willow back down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people really comparable, are on the main AEW roster.
I do think, this is my dark horse, and it would be a little weird, and especially because that reign would then have to go into another longer reign, which I think whoever wins the Women's World title should be a shorter reign. But Marina has been wrestling a lot in Ring of Honor with, like, mixed tag with Wheeler and stuff like that. And as dominant as they've made Marina, I think that could be an interesting thing of, her dethroning Athena and having, like, her being the, again, getting that nod. Which she's definitely has someone that is worthy and has earned that. But, like, if you're going to give it to Marina, it'd be weird for her to lose it soon. Like, that would be another long reign after, like, the longest Ring of Honor reign of all time. Who knows? Maybe Samoa Joe would still have the longest if he just kept holding the TV title.
Yeah. That'd be an interesting parallel universe to live in.
They're both just holding the title forever. He's holding 3 titles.
Yeah, Triple Crown Joe.
Yeah, Triple Crown Joe. But, yeah. That's it for Final Battle. We then move on to AEW. Sorry, so sleepy.
Just power through that.
Ugh. That's it for Final Battle.
Dude, we're actually recording at our normal time this week.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get much sleep last night. I was watching so much wrestling,
I didn't watch the classic matches this week, but I have seen that clip of that crazy curb stomp like 20 times. That's the best I can do.
Curb stomp?
The Moxley curb stomp on the apron?
Oh, to Takeshita?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That shit was cool.
We'll get to that. Dynamite.
Yeah, we'll get
there. Let me see if I remember how Dynamite started.
You should. It was pretty memorable, I thought.
Okada versus Pac? No. Brother, it's been a long week.
Well, that's the first match. You are right. That's the first match on Dynamite.
Oh, it was Joe versus Joe and Eddie had their little talkie talk.
They did. They had a little talkie talk.
A little talkie talk. This was all.
Now,
face to face.
Sorry, go ahead, Cooper.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I I think I was not as into this, not because I thought the content was lacking, but because I thought that they clearly got cut for time.
Yeah.
This was way shorter than it should have been, and you could tell, especially by Eddie's turn to talk, that they were really cutting it down to the wire, and were trying to get this within one segment. Like they were not trying to like cross an ad break for it. And granted, like Eddie made the most of that, I thought, with that the bring me that Samoa Joe or I'll eat you alive. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really great punchy kind of closer to it, but man, I just would have loved to have seen him really like get the chance to rip into Joe, and he started to he kind of like there's some pokes in the armor there, but it wasn't the full Kingston experience.
If only we still had Rampage an extra hour, we could have dedicated like 20 minutes to this promo segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we moved on to the first C2 match, which was the Rainmaker himself, Kazuchika Okada, with 0 points, facing the bastard Pac, sitting at 3 points in Gold League. Yes, they're in the Gold League, right?
Correct.
Okay. I thought you nodded your head, so I'm like, I'm confused which ones are in which league. But yeah, I really enjoyed this because I think it built well off of their match from earlier. Was it this year they had the Continental match? I think it was earlier at the start of the year. Like Revolution.
I think that it was earlier than that. It was before Pat got injured, I think.
Which
I think was
maybe it was last year.
Maybe Dynasty last year.
But they had a match last year where like Pac very much like just wasn't, his heart wasn't there kind of thing. And, Okada was trying to take advantage. And this is a Pac who's way more sure of himself, who's really found his groove with the Death Riders recently. Took out Darby Allin and took out, who did he wrestle in the Speedball? And so you have a roadblock here of like Pac needs to be presented as strong. And sure, nobody's is going to look that bad for a loss to Okada, but you want to show that he's grown kind of thing. At the same time, Okada needs points. You can't have him losing more than one match. That's the one match he's losing. Mm-hmm. He's winning out. Or he's winning and maybe a tie. He's going to make the block. He's going to make the semis. And I really like what they did here with Pac mostly really taking it to Okada to the point of like it looks like he's going to win just for Okada just being able to outsmart him and roll him up, of him being really the aggressor and Okada being able to douse his fire a little bit. And Okada was getting his crap rocked for real. He was getting hit, and I love like as he like gets the win, he rolls out of the ring, falls down like hurt, but also like got your ass. But yeah, I really dug the way the match was played. Because again, I was like, you can just have Pac lose again, but like you've built him up so much that'd be kind of stupid, unless like you do it something clever like this. What did you think?
Yeah, I dug it. Nothing spectacular. Not my top match of the tournament or anything, but a really good kind of mid-tournament confrontation here that played into Okada's bounce back attempts going forward. And yeah, I mean, I like the desperation here and the the sliminess of the finish. That roll up from the brutalizer I thought was really creative. But yeah, I am definitely more intrigued to see what Okada does going forward in the tournament. Pac I think is going to continually deliver like really solid matches, but I don't see him being really like at all close to being a threat for that semi spot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, very very solid kickoff to the show.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably just going to be repeating the same semi spot as last year with Fletcher and both Okada making it out of the blocks. I mean, maybe Fletcher gets surprised and Pac does make it out of the block, but I mean, I don't, again, as much as I would love.
Well, I would think that would be more likely if they weren't building up Claudio so much in the other league.
Yeah.
Which I think that is a guarantee almost.
I actually think, never mind, I'm not going to say that. If I say it, it won't happen. Maybe I'll say it for Collision. No, I actually do think Claudio, but there's a dark horse thing in my mind that I won't get out, and I've convinced myself it will happen. But we'll save that for the Collision talk. We move on to two young up-and-comers. Kyle Fletcher, 3 points, currently beating the Rainmaker last week, the current Continental champion, versus Kevin Knight, who also has 3 points, and basically took Darby Allin out of the tournament because Darby had some type of just head blow that it wasn't from like a fatigue or like a overtime, but basically took him out for this week, and they were going to reevaluate him. And on Collision, we found out that he is out, and Jungle Jack Perry will be taking his spot. I also forgot to mention, maybe I didn't notice this last week, but did Okada come out with the international title last week too?
I believe so. Yes, because he's giving up the Continental for a year.
So yes.
And that means
unified
that the
unified
is not
unified
doesn't exist. So yeah. That segment was ridiculous, by the way, and on the show to explain that. That was the most like, here, okay, like fine, you dummies.
Yeah.
Here's how it works.
It's weird seeing him come out with that belt, because he's never, even when he like won that belt, he never held that belt really, especially not around his waist. I think Don Callis held both of them as like a flex.
Yeah.
So, but we then had Kevin Knight versus Kyle Fletcher, which I thought was another really solid match. It was like a good taste of what's to come for both of them. It didn't like blow me away or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's a match of the year worthy. Like, I don't think it was good as Knight's was last week, but I still think it was really, really good. I don't know. Anybody with Darby is just a magnetic pairing. So,
yeah, I do think it definitely helped Knight's momentum. Oh,
for sure.
I think this was another really great showcase for him. And yeah, I mean, I would say his performance in this is comparable to the Darby one. There was just an energy about that Darby match that pushed it over, but Fletcher's a very different kind of heel than I think maybe Knight would benefit working with from more. But yeah, I mean, I dug it. And what was the finish here? That real big Liger bomb that Fletcher hit, and then into the brainbuster. I mean, the build up to the speedball Night match is, I think, a very intriguing one still.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. And I feel like that's going to be like probably near the end of the tournament if I had to guess. Maybe it's next week. I say that, and there's just going to be like the big match next week.
Yeah. I don't think it's been announced yet.
No. But I mean, he announced them like a couple days before, half the time. All right, What is next on this card? Oh yeah, right afterwards, Don Callis Town Hall. The Young Bucks. I could forgive hurting people. I can forgive stabbing me in the back. I can even forgive murder. But one thing I can't forgive is teaming up with Kenny Omega. I like that a lot. What can I say? That's a good line. To which the Bucks come out because they threatened to take the $1 million, just give it away or burn it or something like that. What was it again?
Yeah, like the Cal's family was going to take the Bucks' share of the $1 million and for, I don't know, nefarious purposes.
That's on you, Bucks. You should have put it in a contract that you get your 2 shares of it, you know?
Yeah, and did they not have a direct deposit set up?
Well, they obviously don't. They're in those giant duffel bags of money.
I know,
comical.
But yeah.
Tony Khan would get caught. Tony Khan would get caught for wire fraud if he tried to give them that much money all at once.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bucks run out. They get beat up. Jurassic Express runs out. They get beat up. And finally, Kenny Omega runs out, clears house with his new sweatshirt that he's wearing with his. I think his cat was on it, right?
I didn't get too good of a look at it. Was it not the kind of like Christmas?
Yeah, the Christmas
sweater,
the Christmas sweater
thing. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was him and his cat on it. It's cute.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And then that's kind of how I don't remember what Kenny said, if he said anything. But I'm sure we're going to get like a Don Callis All-Star. Well, actually now with Jack Perry in the tournament, we'll probably just get like the Elite versus some form of the Don Callis. They're going to get the Elite versus RPG Vice and Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Hey, eating chips every night.
When is Trent going to be back?
He is back.
He's
What?
back.
Since when?
He wrestled Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall on the pre-show, brother.
Of the last paper of Ring of. Oh shit. Okay.
Yep.
Sure. There you go.
Looking at it now, by the way, Kenny Sting has him as Santa Claus holding his cat. So, that is. They did have a conglomeration one too with Roderick Strong on there, and he's like, "I'm not a part of the conglomeration." So they're still running that gimmick, but yeah. And I'll say this: the blood hit my vein. It felt like a lethal injection when I saw that Snapdragon to Okada. I'm like, it's not over. We can still win this one, guys. We can still win. But yeah, we ended that segment going straight into Timeless Love Bombs versus the Mega Problems.
Yeah, in their final attempt to make these teams seem legitimate, they're like, okay,
everybody gets
now.
names.
Yeah.
They go, RJ City, what names do you have for us?
Yeah, exactly. The Mega Problems isn't too bad.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's
Mega Sis,
yeah.
Problem, Mega Problems. I actually like Timeless Love Bombs a lot. Because I guess what...
Yeah, that's nice. It's a throwback to the Jumping Bomb Angels.
Yeah. But yeah, it's nice. And then Babes of Wrath is whatever. Makes sense.
That one's bad. That's a bad name.
I like Babes from Willow. I just don't really. I never liked the Feel the Wrath thing as much as I'm not as big of a Harley Cameron hater as some people here. But
Some people here.
Not name.
I wonder who.
Naming
I wonder
names.
who we're talking
not
about.
Not naming any names.
Now, we should mention also, by the way, that this match is a hardcore holiday death match.
That is true.
And
all right.
Was there any blood?
Oh, not that I remember, which is interesting because one of the accoutrements of this hardcore holiday deathmatch was a barbed wire wrapped candy cane.
That is true.
Which you would think might produce some blood, but evidently not. And I believe it was that, a couple of gift wrapped tables, and that is about
Luther.
Like this was. Oh yeah, and Luther
Santa
came
Claus.
out in his Santa gear.
What did he give? He gave them something, right?
I forget.
He helped them get the win.
Yeah. The like. Oh, inside the box was just Luther's middle finger. So, yeah, it was definitely the I think
they had a frying pan that they were using. Remember?
Oh yes. Well, that's not Christmassy.
No, I don't know. You could get a frying pan for Christmas.
Sure, but
I mean, they're all adults, so they're getting
That's
adult
true,
gifts.
Logan.
And an adult gift you would give to someone would
Right.
be, oh, you like cooking? Let me get you a frying pan.
Right. They come out with a couple pairs of socks and some ties.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the shoe too. She had a gift wrap shoe that she hit on the head of Marina before rolling her up onto the. I think they had like some type of tacks. Okay. The camera angle, there was too much going on at one time. The finish of the match was Santa Luther comes out, not fully knowing it's Luther. You know, that's just Santa Claus. Until he hands Marina Shafir a gift. She tries to rip it out of his hand. He flips her off, reveals it's Luther. In the background, as this is going on, Tony Storm pulls out a stocking and pours a bunch of tacks and has a gift wrap shoe. Or I don't know if Luther handed it to her or not, I don't remember. But basically, she turns around, she gets hit in the head with the shoe and rolled up into the tacks. Which I would say is a good finish, but half of that, unless you were paying a lot of attention to the background, you might not even known was there. So,
Right.
Because I think, head into a roll up on the tack, you're not kicking out of the tacks, But yeah, whatever. It just feels weak after Blood and Guts, Especially when you say death match.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, definitely. I feel like there was an expectation that was not met here. So.
Yeah. There should also been more elves and Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman and the reindeer. They should have brought Doc Angley as a reindeer. He probably would do it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, Timeless Love Bombs move on, and we have Babyface versus Babyface team for the Women's World Tag Titles next week. We could have saw that live. Along with Samoa Joe.
Almost.
Then I believe so. The Ops wanted Dark Order for a match, not for the World Trios Tag Titles because Samoa Joe isn't wrestling. Because again, you cannot do Freebird rule, So just
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Shibata, Powerhouse, and Hook, and the poor Dark Order get no opportunities. So shoot, yeah, we'll go out there to die, of course. And Hangman's like, I don't think you should do this, guys. And I'm like, don't screw this up for us. And he goes, okay, but as soon as that bell rings, they're mine. As it ends, they go out there. It's, the Ops are destroying them basically. They get a little bit of a comeback, but the match ends up ending with, Silver and Reynolds duck under a double clothesline Powerhouse Hobbs, only to get stuck in double sleepers. And Hobbs hits the spine buster for the 1-2-3. Hangman comes out with his chain and vows revenge. Starts, clearing house. I think he hit Hobbs with something. I don't remember. Maybe it was just a chain. I don't remember if he hit the buckshot or not.
He smashed a
That's
bottle
what
over
it
his
was.
head.
But it didn't really
Smash.
smash.
Yeah, he bonked him with the bottle.
Bonk, and then hit the buckshot. But he vowed revenge and that he's gonna for Shibata and Hobbs, and he's gonna bring who next week. And say Swerve's name, I don't think, but it's Swerve.
No. I mean, it could be anybody.
It's gonna be RVD.
It's who. Yeah, his old pal.
His old pal.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people complaining that the Dark Order were on the show at all, which I thought was pretty sad because they were, OGs. They're part of the original thing here.
They're OGs. Evil Uno runs a very funny promotion called Mystery Wrestling, so I'll always support that. And say what you want, but we will never leave Elite lore as long as Hangman is there, and he will always be blood bonded with the Dark Order because of that. I remember when I wanted Silver and Reynolds to win the tag titles.
Okay, yeah, you were a bigger homer than me.
Well, I wanted the best friend to win tag titles, but also I really like Silver and Reynolds combo offense. That'd be cool if they ever won tag titles. Nope.
Yeah, I mean they are still good wrestlers, but yeah, just off to Canada with you.
Budge. But yeah, then we move on to I believe the main event. Is there anything else I'm missing on Dynamite?
Not really. I think it went straight into the next Continental match.
Which was the best match of the night for me. Jon Moxley versus Claudio Castagnoli and Continental Classic rules. Jon Moxley comes out full military green shirt and his Carhartt jacket and, drinking water. Renee said she spoke to him because, of course, she did. He's her husband. Saying he's motivated. He comes out with Marina, comes to the ring, gets in. Then Claudio's music hits. He is by Young Boy FC of the Death Riders. Daps him up real good. And goes in. And I really like this match for two reasons. One, because they put over that Claudio's really only beaten Mox once. Two, because he didn't go for his ankle. He just beat him outright, because again he could have gone for his ankle, but they had, I guess, made a pact before that they didn't. They kind of mentioned it on Collision, and I hate to say that I want to see a Jon Moxley babyface run, but I was kind of into it. I'm not gonna lie.
He's making a case.
He was making the
He's making a case for it.
And in his Collision too. I was I know this guy was just evil dictator and ruining the business, but also he's kind of awesome and the crowd is really I love the way the finish set up. I thought it was good throughout it anyway, with him just being unable to really lay in on Claudio just being that brick wall. But I really love the Mox is busted open. He's bleeding. He finally gets Claudio down. He's feeling it. The crowd, for the first time in forever. Moxley. He gets up. He tries to move, and just Claudio kills him with an uppercut. I mean, that was up there for the nastiest uppercuts, other than the pop-up ones I've ever seen Claudio do. And he gets to 1, 2, 3. And the way you see the other Death Riders reacting to him losing, I think was very interesting. And also Claudio looked like a beast with that CMLL world title. It looks very cool on him.
Yeah, it does fit for sure.
Yeah, because I like different titles, and that's more of a throwback, smaller one. And he makes it look tiny because he's just so massive. But what did you think about this, Cooper?
I loved this. This was some grown men wrestling. So this was. I loved the sense of competition here. Oh, hello. Hi. Ellie wants to tell you what she likes about Claudio Castagnoli versus Jon Moxley. The finish, man, that was so cool. I legit stood up after it, just because it was so sudden and jarring, but in the best kind of way. I love it when they really make it feel like it can end at any time, and yeah, I mean, And the fact that it's a pin too and not a submission is even more definitive for the case against Jon Moxley. Yeah, definitely go out of your way to see this one. It was a real, just the build up of the story has been executed so well so far. And if you're at all interested in, how I think the main event scene in AEW is going to shake out after the Continental Classic, then this is going to be pretty essential viewing for a lot of stories down the line, maybe.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think, and I would say match of the year contender. Not like of all the matches, but definitely on my spreadsheet list. Would you say so, Coop?
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure, because you always lead off with, this is
yeah.
match of the year. We then go to AEW Collision. Going to run through our Collision minute here. I've watched some Collision this week, guys.
Whoa.
Yeah!
Yep. Well, of course. It was the opening bout. Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong. I'm back. This was the one thing that was not spoiled for me all week. So it was refreshing to not be spoiled, not to open Twitter and immediately see crazy stuff happening. And
right.
And I love this match. I don't know if this is a match of the year or not for me. Personally, it is, because I just love these two wrestlers, and I think they're magic every time they get in the ring. And I really like the finish.
This finish looked like it sucked.
Yeah.
Is that what it looked like?
Of the roll again, OC getting those points, but Roddy really just beating his tail. I really love to.
I know.
We forgot to mention on Dynamite where he goes, "Conglomeration rules, no chops," and Roddy's like, "I'm going to shove past," and then him being like, Renee's like, he's like, "I guess he just didn't see me."
Have you seen Roddy's post-match promo from this? It's really good.
Okay, you wanna run it down for me a little bit for the people at home?
No. I want you.
Okay. But Roddy's kind of had OC's number in the past, so this is refreshing to see him get. And I really like that he couldn't really use the orange punch. And him and Roddy just, as a duo, because Roddy can. He's a smaller guy, so Roddy can just destroy him in the backbreakers, but. A lot of these DDTs that Orange is looking for, some of the best DDTs he's put in a long time. And the beach break and the counters and stuff like that. I was just really into it. And the crowd was really into Orange too. Look, man, I'm an Orange Cassidy mark. I'm always going to mark for the guy. For me, this is the match of the year. But, whatever. I also, apparently backstage in a Shop AEW thing, they handed Roderick Strong that conglomeration Christmas thing. And he's like, "I'm not in the conglomeration. Who told you to give me this?" And he goes, "Your best friend Kyle did." And he yelled. He's like, "Bam!" Or whatever. But yeah. What did you think, Coop?
No, I liked it. These two have really good chemistry together. I think that's been evident through the pairing in the not conglomeration or whatever. Orange, I think has a lot of potential in this particular field. I don't know if I showed you guys my full predictions list, but I imagine him going quite far, actually. So
okay. I think this was my thing earlier with Claudio. So Claudio has 6 points. Obviously, he lost again tonight, which I feel like they did those matches too back to back because of the Darby injury and stuff like that. The Continental Classic booking is sometimes weird because you would think, okay, one shows this block, one shows this block, but it's they merge. Sometimes people will have 2 matches in 1 week. Claudio's wrestled 3 of his 5 matches. He has Takeshita. I don't think he's beaten Takeshita. So he goes, let's say 9 points. I wouldn't be surprised if Orange somehow beats him out of the block. That is my dark horse. I think, Takeshi's a lock no matter what. Even if he somehow loses a match, which I don't think he will. Or if he does, I wouldn't be shocked if Orange seatbelts him. I know Jack would die if Orange beat the IWGP champion. But in my little headcanon, I think he's
no, that would be that'd be rough.
But what if it was just like a roll up?
I'm already mentally preparing myself to be annoyed for pretty much whatever loss Take inevitably takes.
I think Orange doesn't necessarily have to beat him, but if he goes to a time limit draw.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll see what happens. I fully expect him to take a pin to somebody before Wrestle Kingdom.
I wouldn't be shocked if Orange beats Mox, knowing their history. Orange beats Dorada, because Dorada already got the big win with Claudio. Because, Claudio's CMLL World Heavyweight Champion. And I don't think they would do that because they're different weight classes, but they could, run that back in Arena Mexico. And you have Take, which I assume Orange losing, but he could, again, if you don't want to have Take lose anything, which understandably he shouldn't, he's the IWG champ, as it is 20-minute, you could have a time limit draw, but that would be my dark horse getting out of the blocks. But I'm going to let you lead the Collision talk because you've watched the whole show, because I'm just going to jump around Continental matches.
Okay, well, yeah. So after this was the announcement that Darby Allin is no longer medically cleared to compete in the tournament. He is, I think, still cleared to travel around with AEW. So I think he was there in Ohio or wherever. But just not to wrestle, which of course, it's the normal match that takes him out after all the stuff that he's done, which that's usually the way how these kind of things go. So then we had a interminably long promo segment with Bullet Club Gold and FTR. Look, I like both these teams. I like them together when they wrestle. I do not necessarily want to hear them talk at each other for 5 minutes. The stuff that FTR were throwing in particular seemed just really kind of cheap. As they were talking to Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson, and so they called them Billy's son and Mr. Tony Storm, which is okay, yeah, sure. I don't know exactly how either of those are supposed to be massive insults, but whatever. Then we had a brief little promo segment too with the Death Riders calling out Mark Briscoe for Garcia's upcoming TNT title match. And oddly enough, I think out of all the people in this promo segment, I was most hyped for the Marina Shafir Mark Briscoe match. Will not be happening, but I would like to see it. And then we get into the next Continental match on the show tonight. This was between Claudio Castagnoli, who was going into this as the leader of the Blue League, I believe, with 6 points, versus Mascara Dorada. This is the good stuff, man. I want to see this over and over and over again. I don't care if it's on AEW. I don't care if it's in Arena Mexico. Just give me, the small flippy guy versus the big strong guy every day of the week. They're pulling up some really crazy stuff here. This one, I mean, it's not like the big, dramatic story kind of match, but it was incredibly fun and very memorable, I think. But the big shock of this one is that Dorada gets the win.
Yes, he does.
Yes, so he has broken the Lucha curse of the Continental Classic. Last year, both Commander and the Beast Mortos going winless. Did Mortos get
Commander got a
victory at some
victory.
point? Oh, Commander got
over Claudio.
Oh, okay. So maybe Claudio's just
his kryptonite.
Just weak to luchadors is his thing.
Only tiny ones apparently. Not your heavyweight. He just dominates over those.
Right. But yeah, it was a really, really creative and fun match, and an unexpected victory here for Dorada. So let's see. Then there was the Babes of Wrath Timeless Love Bombs interview segment with Tony Schiavone. I also was not like super crazy about this or anything. Mostly just, I mean, like they seemed pretty cordial with each other, which that's kind of the thing with a face versus face matchup. Yeah. But and they're just like, oh, we'll give them a good fight that everybody will remember, and then they had a toast to each other. Then Swerve Strickland came out and had a little talky talk to the audience at first, and then who should appear but boo, Josh Alexander. And he is not a fan of all this nerd shit that he sees going around, and he thinks that Swerve has no room to come in and demand a title shot against Joe. If anybody has room to demand a title shot, it's Josh Alexander. I forget exactly what his reasoning was, that he had I know he said like he took out Kota Ibushi, which like, I mean, Kota Ibushi took out Kota Ibushi when you think about it. And he listed some of his other AEW accomplishments. But I just thought it was like, you're Josh Alexander. You're the backup tag guy for the Don Callis family. What are you doing here? But that being said, I am not mad at a Swerve versus Josh Alexander match later on. So I if this gets us there, then that's cool. Swerve, by the way, just is the coolest looking guy right now. We might have mentioned it when he came back at the pay-per-view, but he looks like he ate Swerve Strickland, and he's still just super over. This is the first time I think that he's really talked like in like a promo segment to the audience since he's come back, and he connects with them just right away, immediately again. The only thing is, man, he's got to ditch that song. He's got to get back to Big Pressure, man. This new thing is it's way too long, and I'm not a big fan. So then we had the TBS Championship match, following up from Final Battle storylines, where Mercedes Moné took on Layla Gray, and I was pleasantly surprised by this match as well. Clearly, Ellie has big thoughts about it too, but yeah. Hi, I'm sorry. Gotta take a mid collision minute break for pets here. But one interesting thing about this that I didn't realize is that apparently Layla Gray has been gifted the Angel's Wings from Christopher Daniels as one of her signature moves now, which makes sense considering that they're in the same faction. But when you take into account that Hangman Page also now has the Angel's Wings, it does kind of feel just like Christopher Daniels teaches that move to everybody that he meets. But good for her. Obviously, Mercedes gets the win here. They are clearly playing up the downfall of this belt collector thing that she's been going on, but not the TBS title quite yet. That one I think you're gonna have to wait a while to see her get rid of that. Then another amazing Eddie Kingston promo. This was a pre-taped one, but I really loved his delivery on this one. Talking about how he wanted to show Hook the right way of doing things and how he sees his pairing up with Samoa Joe, and he worries about the young guys and about the future of AEW, if this is how things keep going, if this is the path that they want to go down. And he says that now that he's seeing how Samoa Joe is doing, he needs to win the AEW championship to show the young guys how it's supposed to be. He, at one point, at the end of this, I loved his delivery. He says, he's like talking to Samoa Joe. He says, do it like a man. Don't be a rat. And I was like, okay, yeah, there he is. There's Eddie. Then it was a segment with the Triangle of Madness, with just a pile of bodies at their feet, who then said that they will be in Cardiff. I forget who they were directing this to. Or if they even directed it towards anybody. If it was just like saying, we will be in Cardiff, see you there. So that's set up for Winter is Coming, I suppose. Then the second ever AEW national title defense. It's your boy Ricochet versus Ace Austin, and oddly enough, the first AEW national championship defense on an AEW show. And this was really fun. I think that Ace Austin definitely needs more time on the main TV programming, aside from the Bullet Club Gold stuff, which I don't think has necessarily gone as well for him as we might have imagined. But his single stuff I really like, and I think that's where he thrives best. And this one was also quite fun. This was mostly Ace trying to find a chance to get in the fold, his big finisher, and Ricochet avoiding that one. But as with the match against Dalton Castle, Ricochet hits that spirit gun, and it gets the win again for another successful defense. And then your main event for Collision, it is another Blue League match in the Continental Classic. The IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Konosuke Takeshita versus Jonathan Moxley.
Bro,
Moxley.
Did he peek on yours too, Cooper?
Yes, he did.
Oh, that was perfect.
Did not hear shit.
That was perfect.
Did it just go?
As soon as you started, you peeked like crazy. Oh, that's a good clip. That's a good soundbite.
Moxley.
Oh my
god, that was
god,
even worse.
That's hilarious.
Did it just go?
Okay.
I'm not saying it.
Please.
I'm just curious.
Please.
Is that what it was like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah. John Moxley.
Did you watch this?
Of course
Luke?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. What did you think about it?
The ace is back, baby. The ace of the world is back. I really dug it. Maybe it was because he was in Cincinnati, Ohio, his hometown, where he drank from the dirty water, and you better step up. But I thought this was a really great babyface performance out of John Moxley, which we have not seen in a long, long time. And I love Takeshita going for his weakness. And I love him not tapping and kicking out of the I forget what he calls his knee.
Raging Fire?
No.
Power drive.
Oh, Power drive.
Kicking out of that even when his ankle gave up on him, and only really being doused out by that Raging Fire at the end. I think Mox will continue to lose in this tournament, and I think he will be killed by Claudio Castagnoli whenever this tournament ends. But I do think this babyface run even though nobody's going to trust him ever again, will be fun.
Hey, Logan. Do you want to know what this is?
This is... I'm going to let you finish the sentence.
Bro.
Our match of the year.
Yeah.
I adored this. This is so much fun to watch.
2 matches of the years back to back for Mox.
Hey man, he's what can I say? You all were fickle. I will mind. All right? I stood true. I stood true to the cause. All right.
You all. What do you mean?
I saw you all after that swerve match. I remember.
That wasn't on Mox. That was on the Bucks. That was on booking. That wasn't on the wrestler.
Right. But yeah, they man, not just the babyfaceness of it, which was shocking to see after the year that we've had. But man, like, am I a fan of John Moxley worked MMA? Am I a fan of that? Because he was throwing out some of it here, and I was not like falling asleep. I was locked in. He's just trying to get in that cross arm breaker, and I was like, yeah, get him, get his ass. This was like they said it on commentary beforehand, but it really did ring true. This felt like a pay-per-view main event, So no, I was super super happy with this. Go out of your way to see it, and a absolutely killer way to close off this week's Collision.
For sure. Well, sticking with the IWGP champion who stood tall at the end of this episode of Collision, we're gonna jump to the island of Japan because World Tag League is currently.
That's funny you mention it. Like Takeshita is anywhere to be seen.
Yes, he's in the Continental Classic.
Yes,
he's in the Continental.
Hashtag
no,
we don't
actually,
do tours, brother. And World Tag League is a tour. You know this. The only tours we do are the ones that start with G.
G1, Gifu, Road to Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
We don't even do the Road to Wrestle Kingdom, bro. That's Tag League.
Yeah.
We will show up on January 4th.
He's showing up. He's going to be at some fuck-ass DDT show the night before,
yeah, of course he is, because
he was at a fuck-ass DDT show the night before in this Continental Classic match. He was fighting Shinya Aoki.
You don't realize those are the shows that matter.
Oh Christ!
You gotta get tapped in.
Say what you want, but your precious Lion Mark did not take Takeshita into their dojo. He had to carve his own path, and he will always be loyal to DDT for that. And that is a real one right there, and that's why we love the big baby.
It would be a great character if it was if that was brought up ever on TV.
He did when he faced Tanahashi. He said, "You didn't pick me."
Yeah, no, that you're right. It was more so before the World Championship run, but we don't have to. There's too much to talk about. So stay on the issues. I like Takeshita. I like him as champion. I just wish he was around a little more. Actually, I'm not giving him quite enough credit. There was a filmed promo set. You know how New Japan has their backstage comments, but for the not the pay-per-views, but for the bigger events, they'll put on YouTube like those sort of lo-fi promo interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one of those. It was okay. It wasn't as fun as the written Okada one that I sent you all clips from.
Can you read us before we get into the Tanahashi matches later? Can you read us some of those clips?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do it before we start. But I'll get the World Tag League real quick first.
Of course.
I'm gonna do it a little different this week. I think the way I've been presenting it has been hella boring, which might be emblematic of the tournament, but to try to make it more exciting, I'm going to run through the points really fast. also just give you all sort of an idea of the major storylines coming to the end. A block, we got a four-way tie. Goto, Hiroshi, Kazuchika, four dragons and falling evil. Yano and Owen get six. Desperado Yukon 6, and Yujiro and Owens and Goto and Yoshihashi. Yujiro and Owens and Taichi and Kojima both at 2. In B block, it's Tana and ELP at 4, Finley and Hiromu at 4, Yuto and Oscar at 6, Sabre Jr. and Oil at 6, Okan and Newman at 8, Nareed and Snot at 6, and Archer and Zayn at 6. So we've got Okan and Newman and Shota and Yuga in the block at the top of it. One of the bigger things that's happened this past since the last talk is that Umino and Umura have finally settled on a team name. They're calling themselves Shoya in honor of the legendary TNA tag team Joya.
Baby, can I get a Shoya?
That's who you learned all his babyface fire from. His old mentor.
Jack, how do you feel about TNA lore?
No,
showing up in New Japan?
They actually.
I'm just joking.
They actually mentioned that. I would actually die of laughter.
No, they didn't. That's the name. I was just joking about it.
Shoya.
Okay.
Awful name, by the way.
So, besides that, the most interesting thing that's happening in World Tag League right now, I don't think I mentioned this last week. I might have just glossed over it, but it was definitely starting. Oh, actually, before we get to the big thing, we're still in the middle of that United Empire heel turn now. It's like definitively a heel turn at this point, and Dangerous JAY will cheat every once in a while to win matches. So just an update on that. They are turning heel, like, for sure. And they are also got 8 points.
You gotta stop, man. Dangerous JAY.
I'm just giving the people what they want to hear.
Dangerous JAY is what the people want to hear.
Yeah, no doubt. It seems like no, I'm taking this too seriously. Fuck.
Keep going. The problem is there's going to be people who listen who have no idea who JAY is.
Dude, what are you talking about? Did you not see that Wrestle Kingdom 20 is going to be the biggest non-WWE gate since 1995?
Yes! They still don't know who JAY James Austin Young is.
It's because of him. It's because of the UE. No, legitimately though.
Okay.
Oh Christ. They do these, faction tracksuits every year as part of the big 2026 rollout, and suspiciously enough, UE is not getting a tracksuit this year, so it seems clear that something is legitimately happening. They're going to disband Newman, and I guess Jay too will be doing something else. Maybe Bullet Club. It's not going to last for much longer. It's really terrible booking mishaps for them. Besides that, the most interesting thing that's happening is that even though Finley and Hiromu have been able to find common ground, and Takagi and Drilla have seemingly become besties out of nowhere, Kid and Tsuji just cannot seem to get along, guys. They cannot. And they started the whole thing.
Yeah, what
Wow.
the fuck?
I know, they were the ones who had the idea. It's ridiculous. But no, seriously, they're doing this angle. I remember now. I did slightly mention it last week, but it's grown into more of a thing now. Tsuji, now that he's in full protect New Japan from the outsider mode, is taking great offense to Kid being a massive heel piece of shit trying to kill people in every match. And he's trying to keep the matches as straight as possible, and Kid is not taking it, and they're getting into arguments again, and the whole thing, their feud has always been about both being ideologues about New Japan's future, but having different ideas for it, and it's coming to a head again. Um, I think still that Kid is on the way out. I think we all think that, and I'm assuming, God willing, because who knows what can really happen. I'm assuming that the reason this is happening is that Suji will win at Wrestle Kingdom, and this Kid will be his first challenger as one last run back. I mean, I could speculate even further and say that that'll happen, and then Kid will like definitively leave. But I can't say that for sure. That's kind of just complete speculation. The main thing is that, like I said, I think this is being set up as the first world title feud post January 4th.
Okay.
I was waiting for someone to say something.
Sorry.
Yeah, I could see it for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, interesting though that they are pulling the trigger so quick after forming this alliance on the dissension.
It is funny. Like, I really thought it might last a little bit longer, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, look, don't worry. But the War Dragons are forever, and they will continue to be together. They're gonna be such good friends. They're like, I don't want to leave my partner. We're just gonna stick together.
I think it's gonna be something like that. I mean, the factions after this aren't going to split cleanly. That's for sure. In what direction? I think it's more interesting than it sounds, because I do think that something big is going to happen with who of the like unaffiliated War Dogs alliance sort of stick together, even possibly factoring in what's happening with Newman and Young. They have this weird connection with the KOB, so who knows if that could end up with them in the same group too. It's a lot going on right now when it comes to like the non-Hantai and House of Torture factions. They're pretty set in stone as just the definitive good guy, bad guy groups. All these other, and TMDK is just all of Zach's young boys. But besides that, these three sort of weird anti-hero ones are in an interesting spot, and I think something's finally going to come to a head coming out of Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe even like they actually run an angle at New Year Dash for the first time in 5 years, and it happens there.
Please,
but who knows?
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really all for World Tag League this week. It wasn't like I'm saying, we're getting close to the end now. The people in play are starting to become more obvious. But besides that, we're barreling towards the end, and we've got a lot to talk about actually in New Japan's past this week, rather. So I'd love to get to that. Like Logan just mentioned, there was a lovely written interview with the Rainmaker himself, where he interviewed with Charlton for the Tokyo Dome match, the last Tanahashi Okada match, Tanahashi's last match of all time, and he was fully on his bullshit during this, I promise. Oh Lord. The funniest thing I sent this to y'all. Okay, I'll go through it in mostly chronological order, but just give me a second to find the bits that I thought were the funniest.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
I mean, what do you expect from the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, the Rainmaker himself, the biggest name to possibly ever come out of Japan? Wouldn't you say, Cooper?
Oh, undoubtedly. Bigger than Ricky Dozan, bigger than Inoki, bigger than Takeshita.
Bigger than Baba.
Yeah.
Okada kept on talking throughout the whole thing, like they kept on asking, like, since it's framed as like New Japan viewers being introduced to Okada and AEW, that's a big part of it. And there are a few moments where Charlton's like asking him what's changed in since he left. One of the first things he says is that he's like, what's different backstage in AEW versus in New Japan? And he says, well, there is catering here.
I love that. That one got me.
And goes on to talk about just the difference of like a million people being there. But he keeps on bringing stuff like that up. He's asked at one point what his primary motivation is right now in this stage of his career, and he just says riches. And then, of course, later on, when he's asked about Wolf's debut, this is the funniest bit to me. He's asked what he thinks about Wolf's debut this year at Wrestle Kingdom because it's like well known that he was the one who talked Aaron Wolf into switching to pro wrestling and going to join New Japan. And the first thing he says is, "Well, I screwed up. I should have told him to go to AEW." And then
That is so
and then he,
true.
oh my god.
That's the truest thing he's ever said.
And then he goes on and like gives a very genuine answer about how he's like, well, really, New Japan has the best foundational system I can imagine for someone to learn the business. It's how I learned to wrestle, and I'll always be appreciative of that. And then he said, and then he should learn English and go to America afterwards.
He's the goat, man.
um, he was talking. He talked at a certain point about how they asked him what he thought about Chaos's disillusion this year and about Goto winning the world title, and he said he's just lucky I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just talked a lot about how he mentioned the thing that y'all said about he did this shit where he said that whoever ends up in the main event this year is going to be used to develop the fucking rivalry with Takeshita. He's like, that's really what this is all about. I think he basically said that. That's the main thing with the interview. Obviously, the main theme of this episode is to talk about. Well, the theme of the next few episodes leading up to Wrestle Kingdom, we've decided, is going to be a retrospective of the entire Okada Tanahashi feud. This week, we're talking about the first, well, I think, the first singles match he ever had. It was Okada's send-off match before he left to go to TNA on Excursion. Just a simple, Ace versus Young Lion style match before he became really the Okada we know. And then we're going to talk about the classic Rainmaker shock at New Beginning, and then the match that immediately followed it at Dominion that year. So let's get into it, y'all.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Okay, it was a Young Lion Excursion match, which was on
Yes.
New Japan. I forget what the Crisis.
New Japan Ism.
Ism.
It was a New Japan Ism show.
Yep. No commentary. On the YouTube upload. Did you find it on New Japan World or did you find it on YouTube? Yeah.
Me? I watched the YouTube
Okay.
one that Cooper sent.
You mean I sent?
Oh, sorry.
See,
Yeah, I can't take credit for this one.
He's so
No,
used
that's
to
my bad. I
Cooper
just didn't
doing
know.
everything, which does happen all the time. But he couldn't give me the credit the one time I did. Well, what happened was, I'm like, surely I'm not the first one to watch these matches. So when I started watching them, then I realized, wait, I'm like on New Japan World will tell you when people like watch stuff, and I was like, there's no indicator. I might be the first. And it took me like 15 minutes to find this match. So I like searched through all New Japan World, couldn't find it. And then I was looking at like a Reddit, and it's like, here's the first match here, and it just says New Japan greatest moment stuff. Because it was New Japan Ism, but it was like a tour. It was something like Crisis and something or some crazy tour name.
I can look it up real quick if you're interested, but I don't know if it matters that much.
It doesn't really matter much. Who is the champ at this point if Tana wasn't the champ? Because
Makabe, maybe?
2010, so.
Either Makabe or maybe Kojima, because I know Kojima was the champ going into Wrestle Kingdom 5, and then Tana beats him and then carries the title for a full year to Wrestle Kingdom 6.
But I think this was before. I think this was after Wrestle Kingdom 4, because this was 2010. Wrestle Kingdom 5 was 2011.
No, you're
6 was 2012, because that was right, because Okada came back at 6. Or they had the terrible.
Yeah,
It was.
this is like at the start of the year in 2010.
No. This was. We're all wrong. This was. Shinsuke was the champion at this time. He was champion from September 2009 to Wrestling Dontaku May 3rd, 2010, when he dropped it to Makabe, and then Makabe dropped it to Kojima in October.
And then Kojima
So,
dropped it to,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Okada comes out first. I believe this is in Gifu, right? Is it in his hometown?
I don't know. I'm on the
Maybe
cage
I'm wrong.
match.
Maybe I'm just tripping because people like him.
Oh, it doesn't say the. It doesn't say.
This
Uh,
is also like,
no, this was in Tokyo. This was in a weird fringe
yeah,
arena
this
in
is a
Tokyo.
very small arena. This
Yeah.
looks like us going to center stage.
No, right? Yeah.
I loved from the start Okada coming out and just like leaning on the ropes and not moving at all during Tanahashi's.
I know him blocking
Yes,
Tanahashi.
and Tana like looking at him and
What a
Yeah.
like motioning. Like, what is this guy gonna do?
what a little shitter.
Yeah,
No, I know. He's really funny in this. Before we start talking, obviously the main talk of this is going to be how interesting it is to see a proto version of Okada. But before we do that, I want to say how much Tanahashi is the fucking man around this time.
he does look
Oh
like
that's
my
awesome
interesting.
god.
though. That's it's some of his
That-
best attire
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I saw
Interesting
this.
though.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you, but yes, he is the man, and he's been the man for like 7 years at this point. But like while I watched this, and like I said, I've been watching like this whole playlist that New Japan World has of all these early Tanahashi matches, and to me, at least, it seems clear like at this point, like in like the early 2010s, like he's not quite done cooking yet until we get to the next match later, which is maybe just a me thing, but
Maybe you're
like
right, and that's
'cause
funny.
like
Sorry.
the image in my head of Tanahashi is that white and red kind of gear and that particular kind of feathered hair and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So
I agree with that. And I think that's, it's something that everyone's talking about sort of because of the way this final match is going to be. Like, it's pretty spectacular of Tanahashi to, finally reach that peak of his career, like where he's the undisputed man and really, really quickly go ahead and turn around and anoint the next guy without, any complaints. It's something like, I don't want to ham on anyone too much because, I love all these wrestlers, but fucking, none of the Musketeers did that for the third gen didn't do it for
yeah,
Tanahashi. They really could. They weren't as popular, but they didn't really do it for Tanahashi.
right.
And Okada didn't do it for a long time. So it's really something special about Tana that he, at the very height of his popularity, decided to go with this angle that we're going to talk about here in a second and just prop up this guy, Okada, like that. Make him for the rest of his career when he didn't have to.
For sure.
Really didn't have to.
And really, I mean, like, talking about making, like, made the star. I mean, Okada was the
Right.
guy,
Built off,
Yeah.
his shoulders.
And then once he became the guy, he could, basically cause this whole, with Kenny and a lot of the other stuff, that boom period we had, because again, you had somebody. Wrestling's always
Right.
good when you have a big bad that you can just chase, But yeah, I thought this was, again, it was very much similar to a lot of these like Young Lion versus established stars matches that if you've watched enough New Japan, you've seen for a lot of like the send off stuff before they go on excursions.
Yeah.
I will say it's just so weird seeing Okada in this form, especially like not blonde. I don't know if I've ever seen him with hair other than like the TNA photos with hair this dark. And in Young Lion garb, I will say he had a lot of fire. I really liked how like angry he was. How like just such a little
that's classic
bastard. But like he did have some good fight to him and stuff like that. And like especially like a lot of like the comeback part where you just started trying to lay in blows on Tana, I really thought was the crowd really got behind him in this match. But there's not much to say about, for me at least, about a lot of the performers here. I'll be interested what you guys have to say.
Check.
I mean, you're right that it is typical for it's typical for these matches to sort of play out like this. And you're like, it's true that I'm sorry. It's true that this is a pretty classic archetype, and it's just Tanahashi getting all his stuff in with Okada, his moveset can't be developed yet. They literally bar you from doing that. He's just learning how to work and pace the match and present himself as a bit of a character rather than just his normal self. Those are the things they teach you to do when you're a young lion, to emote a little bit and to learn how to pace yourself in a match. I think you can see glimpses of Okada in just 2 years in this match. Like y'all said, his arrogance, his sort of impatience is a big thing in these 2 matches we're about to see. That's true of all young lions, but it's something that sticks with Okada during his initial run. There isn't that much to say, like you said, but I thought it was a fun novelty. I'm glad we didn't just overlook this when we did this. Yeah.
Yeah. The most interesting thing about this to me is just with the knowledge of what comes later on, these kinds of these beginnings, not just for Okada, but for a lot of New Japan stars as young lions. You go back and you watch some Muto Chono matches from when they were little babies, and Tanahashi Nakamura stuff, even from the same kind of idea, but all that stuff becomes imbued with a meaning that it didn't have at the time, which is really interesting to me. You see here, and even the individual spots, you see the first big Okada dropkick in this match, and it's at the time, who cares, right? he's a young lion, he's doing a dropkick, great. But what that will become is something so core to these matches and to this feud. And same thing, the start of this match and the New Beginning match are pretty much exactly the same. That particular headlock sequence with the Okada trying to bounce off it and Tanahashi just grinding down, that's exactly the same 2 years later. So, and you just get these little just embers of what will become something great later. So
for sure. I also thought was interesting is what happened after the match was over.
Yes.
Yano,
biggest heel in all of 2010's New Japan,
coming out and beating them both down. I was like, okay, this is hilarious. The start, and someone's like, I want to start this legendary feud. I want to get in. I want to see it from the beginning. Who's this guy? I bet this guy's a big deal. He's beating down both.
Right.
No, totally.
What did you think of that, Jack?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yano beating up both Okada and Tanahashi after the match was over.
Oh. No, that's real. No,
that's his base. That's his base.
That's my. Oh, that's funny. No, that's funny. It's really fucking funny. But I mean, Chaos Yano, OG Chaos Yano was a force to be reckoned with. He was a fucking real deal.
He's a great bash heel, man.
Yeah. Oh, is this even before Chaos started?
I think Chaos might have started. I don't know if he was in it though.
Oh, I don't know the story of how all the turns happen and stuff like that.
Right.
I know that's happening right now because we were just talking about the title switches between Makabe, Nakamura, Makabe. So I don't, but I don't know the specifics.
I can't wait till Yano retires and we do a career retrospective on him. See how he came from evil, dastardly heel to just DVD salesman.
Yep.
I will never retire. Yano.
Yeah, but then we move on to New Beginning, which I feel like we have to talk about Wrestle Kingdom, obviously, before we get to New Beginning.
We do have to set this one up a little bit.
You want to lead it off, Jack?
You want me to?
You're the expert, so.
All right. So here's the deal. In the lead up to Wrestle Kingdom Wrestle Kingdom 5, right?
6.
No, Wrestle Kingdom 6. Wrestle Kingdom 6, and he was facing Suzuki in the main event, I believe.
Yes.
Tanahashi was. I just wanted to I know the story of the angle. I wanted to make sure I didn't get that wrong. So Tanahashi is on top of the world, right? He is finally ascended, to what we were just talking about. He was the man in 2010. In between 2010 and 2012, he became, really fucking the man. He became the ace of the company. He was raising it up from one of the darkest periods in New Japan history. The 2000s were really bad financially. They were filled with weird booking decisions that everyone on Twitter seems to be defending nowadays. Um, but it was not popular. It wasn't popular with the most mainstream crowd, and attendances were falling. But there was one sort of light in that, and it was that Hiroshi Tanahashi was popular. He was like a true blue babyface, and he was really good at wrestling, and he connected with people. And he had this aura about him. He had this, you felt like you could put your faith in Tanahashi, like you could believe Tanahashi to overcome any obstacle. People do call him analog to Cena, at least in character wise and in importance to the company in a similar time. That's not taken lightly. That's really exactly what he was. And here's another thing to set up a little bit. In New Japan, when people come in, when young lions, they go on excursion, they go learn to wrestle at a different company before coming back and part of the main roster. They are not normally in the conversation immediately. It's, part of the culture there that people come back and they lose for a little bit and they slowly, incrementally get better and better, like as a slow burn sort of build. It's what they've done with the young guys in the company right now. Some people think they shouldn't have. We could talk about that maybe later on in the month.
It's what made Suji's re-debut so shocking.
Yeah.
Was him getting right into a title picture.
More recently, that is true. Suji has part of the reason why he was seen as different from the rest of them is just literally that they did that with him and they didn't with everyone else. But what they're about to do in 2012 is even more insane and unheard of. Kazuchika Okada is a unique prospect in New Japan. He was picked up not from the streets or just from a tryout like a lot of people. He was learning to wrestle in Mexico at Ultimo Dragon's Toryumon promotion, and was told you should go over to New Japan, kind of hooked up with them, and he became a young lion from there. Was very popular with the higher ups there, clearly, and was really good. And so he ended up leaving to go on excursion for TNA in a long made fun of character where he was kind of doing some vaguely racist things as Samoa Joe's sidekick for a bit.
Vaguely is an understatement.
Yeah. Some say it was to humble him down for what was going to come next. And
it is funny that,
which, by the way, so fucked up if that's true.
It is funny that the worst excursion possibly ever created like the greatest star.
It's ridiculous. So Okada comes back lead up to Wrestle Kingdom as Gato's this long, sort of junior heavyweight respected stalwart of just Japanese wrestling in general. He's going to be his manager. And chaos exists right by now because he's brought right into it with Gato as his manager. So Chaos is the faction. Gato is in it, and he promises to bring in this Rainmaker on Wrestle Kingdom 6, and it's going to be Kazuchika Okada, the young lion, facing one of his contemporaries, Yoshihashi, the much maligned in this group of friends.
Who's also returning from excursion. Where was his excursion at? I've never actually
Is that true? I didn't
They
know
were
that.
both-
They're both coming back
They
to the
both,
one.
were coming
Yeah.
Yeah.
back.
I knew he was
Hashi
recently
spent a lot of time in CMLL before this.
It's a little
Okay.
funny.
So these two young lions are both going to re-debut at Wrestle Kingdom this year. And to be honest and blunt, both of them look like goober shitters who are not going to be anything.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely stink up the
Okada-
joint.
two of the worst haircuts you've ever seen in your life.
Two of the
clothes
worst
don't
eyebrows
fit. Yeah.
on Okada.
Yeah.
Their clothes don't fit. They've got shitty hair dye. They look just straight up stupid. There's no other way to put it. People thought that too. People didn't expect much out of this. But what happens is Okada ends up winning this match at Wrestle Kingdom. In a shit match too. That made them both look terrible. And that's not a lie. Like that, you can go back and watch it. Okada
Even
does not
his
look like
Rainmaker is shit. Like the actual
does
move is garbage.
Yeah, his finisher looks so unimpressive. But after Tanahashi wins in the main event, just like New Japan loves to do, Okada comes out and he challenges after the match. And, we get this iconic line to start. Okada comes out and he says, basically, Tanahashi, you look tired. And Tana says those words that'll define the second half of his career. I'm never tired. And then they decide that even though Okada has no business challenge, Tanahashi makes that clear. He is not on his level. He has not earned this. He does not respect him one bit. He's going to give him a title shot. And his second singles match back from excursion back in the beginning. You can get into the match.
Well,
the important things to
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
You keep going before we.
I was going to say the important things to know going into this is that this is like he will not in New Japan. Him winning the title is not something that would ever happen. Nobody would ever expect it. It's like a total write-off match for a guy that didn't even look like a future main eventer in the match. He looked like a total bum for the rest of his career.
Yeah,
Then we get into
I
the
mean,
main
when you're
event.
like, why would Tana give him the match? I mean, it's simple. He's already at the most offenses. Now he's got a stat pad a little bit, brother. You gotta get the little
You're right.
crappy
No, that's
guys who aren't
true.
gonna win. You gotta get those V versions up, man.
Right. Tana has gone through everyone at this point.
And again, it's like for those who haven't watched New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom is their biggest show of the year. So you're going from the biggest show of the year to like most of the time a nothing defense, to start the year to get the ball rolling on a championship reign or to continue one. Most of the time in the new beginning, you do not see championships change hands. Okada also doesn't look great coming out to this match.
Nuh-uh. No, he doesn't.
Has the worst.
He looks better, but he doesn't look
His
great.
hair still looks awful, bro, with the purple streak and the shave size. His eyebrows are back, so that's good. And he still doesn't fully fit into his clothes, the necklace especially.
Yeah.
But
the one thing Okada has in this match is that, and he didn't not look like this in Wrestle Kingdom, but Okada is he has the same insane physique for his entire career. He is in good shape.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, he's starting to get. He's not fully though, because you could tell by Dominion when he's like 6 months later, like he's in peak Okada shape. He's like almost there at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
But no, it was especially funny seeing him come out and immediately. I don't know about what version you guys watched, but I was greeted with Kevin Kelly, and I was like, "Huh, I didn't know he was commentary in 2012." And then I realized, as before this match started, Tana comes out and the crowd pops. He mentions Gato. He goes, and they hand the title to the former young lion, Bad Fale. And I was like, what do you mean former? And I was like, wait, this is retroactively commentated.
Yeah.
No! Because, look, say what you want about Kevin Kelly. I think he can be fine at times with some other commentators, but, him alone is so insufferable because there's three things I think commentary needs to have. It needs to be knowledgeable, which Kevin Kelly is pretty knowledgeable. He's passable for that. They need to have enthusiasm at the right spots. Kevin Kelly does not know how to say that, and they need to be smart, tight on their feet because they need to be constantly seeing the match and reacting to it, which this shouldn't be hard because he's probably already seen this match before he took the company. But the problem is it feels like he's like one step ahead of the moves half the time in this match when he's commentating it. He goes, "Oh no!" before the drop kick happens off the top rope. I'm like, what are we doing?
To be fair to him, that might be a syncing issue more than him because they were not putting a bunch of money into English commentary at the time.
And it was very funny because again, like, this is a very famous match at this point. It is 13 years old. Unless you have no idea about New Japan, you will know like what happens. And Kevin Kelly does not fully sell like, and there's no way Okada wins this match. He's like, this is the start of the historic rivalry and all this stuff. And he's like, there's no way Okada wins. Surely not, right, guys? And I'm like, come on, Kevin, give me a little bit, man. But yeah, I just had to say that. I was like, immediately, I was like, oh God. But I'll let you continue what you were saying before I rudely interrupted you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I mean, what is there to say? This is a really good match. It's not the best they'll ever have, but I mean, it's their first, on a grand stage, and it really is the story of like Tanahashi this is the genius of the Rainmaker shot just in general, right? The whole story of the match is that Tanahashi just is constantly like shocked. He can't believe what's happening in the ring.
Yeah.
He didn't come prepared for this. He was on the up and up. He was the most confident he ever was, and he did not expect to be faced with the greatest prodigy in wrestling of the 2010s in that match. And that's what I was saying before when we started the show. I feel like on some level what they did with Okada leading up to this was intentional because the whole point of this match is just how unbelievable it is that Okada is this good. And you have to think that the reason he was made to look so unimpressive in the Wrestle Kingdom match was to sell the excitement of this. I believe.
That is funny. Intentionally go out there and stink up the joint. We also want you to shave your eyebrows and just, Yeah.
We know Yoshihashi isn't that bad, guys, right?
Cooper is making grumpy face. I'll say this. That Rainmaker, when he finally hits into this match, I mean, like, I don't care what you thought of the guy before. He kills Tanahashi with that thing. I'm like, that is a finish.
No. It made the move, for
forever.
The rest of all time.
I mean, I thought he concussed him, man. Like, it looked brutal. And again, I really like the way of just like, and they put it over. That's one thing I say, Kevin, is like, there is plenty of tape of Tanahashi. There's no tape for Tanahashi to really, study on Okada, this new version of him. He's basically a new man, And I do love too. He's like, I'd like to, as much as I crap him, I'll give him a couple things. He's like, for Okada, there's no like, there's no nerves here. There's no butterflies. He doesn't have anything to lose. Worst case scenario, if he has a good match with the champ, he can just move up the rankings and be seen as a better wrestler and stuff like that, and get the rub, And he gets to add his name to that illustrious list of people that Hiroshi Tanahashi has beaten during this reign, But I mean, I've seen it before. It's always great, and I think it leads into that start of the character. I do love that Naito is his first one to challenge him.
Oh yeah, I mean, those two are gonna have an amazing story over the next.
Somebody else who's not done cooking yet, little Stardust genius, Naito.
Right. Cooper, what'd you think? Give us your notes if you have them.
Yeah. So I thought that this one, like you said, Jay, they will have better matches later down the line. I don't know if they'll have many more as iconic matches as this one. I mean, like the ending, yes, certainly helps with that. But yeah, just the premise as a whole for this is so unique for the time.
Yeah.
And it it instantly solidified its place in wrestling history. I love how those traits that you see in early young Lion Okada are now fully formed into a real character. That impatience and that arrogance. He goes for the fucking tombstone like right out the gate. and it gets reversed obviously, but he's like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I'll just hit him with my biggest shit, and he goes for the Rainmaker way too early. He is so just assured in his ability to take down this old man as he sees it. And Tanahashi for his part is not only just shocked, but I think like kind of like fucking annoyed, like frustrated, like how who's this like young punk trying to do all these big moves to me all of a sudden, like and that forces him to just keep escalating higher and higher, and you get stuff like that high fly flow on the outside, and that'll become a really consistent kind of visual throughout this series. The leg work from Tanahashi, which a lot is how a lot of his early matches in this kind of Ace era are structured, is around the knees and getting in the dragon screws and the clover leaf and all that.
Well, he did use the finish with the clover leaf, and a lot of it was based around the legs, no doubt.
And Okada for his part, I mean, the tendency that he would fall into as he got older, I thought, is to drag out those minutes even more, and sometimes that would result in magic, like with the Omega series. I think that really plays to those matches' benefits, and sometimes it doesn't, like the Jay White match.
Oh yeah.
But here he just hasn't really developed that habit yet. Like everything here feels, I think, much more immediate and reactive in the moment, instead of that kind of like, oh, here's the first 15 minutes of a New Japan main event match, right?
Yeah.
So.
And it works for the story too, like we were saying, Okada is coming back without anyone knowing anything about him. Even though he was a young lion, he went on excursion, but he didn't wrestle all that much in TNA, and he was one of the shorter-lived young lions because of his weird situation in Mexico. He's kind of a mystery to everyone, including Tanahashi, and that's why he's able to just kind of throw all these moves at him, and Tana just doesn't know what to do exactly, besides just his regular game plan. And I think he's cocky, he's brash, and he really believes this is something that was true of the match then, and it's something that Okada talked about in this recent interview that I was just talking about. Okada was saying, like, someone asked him, Charlton asked him, what do you remember about facing off with Tanahashi in that first match? And he was like, the main thing I remember is that I really believed I could win. And you can see that, in the match. I know this is all kidding. I can see it in the match, that Okada believes from the beginning that he's going to beat this guy, and then he does. He's like the only person in the arena that knows what's going to happen.
Well, Gato. Bloody hands, Gato. It is funny to see like the young lions and stuff, and the shock afterwards. And also, he's such a buster, immediately standing over the knocked out Tana, holding the belt over him like a slain beast.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't? he's a shitty little kid, and he just beat the ace of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this. So when finding these matches, because we hadn't said like exactly, I was the first one to watch them, and I was like, oh, there's a Young Lion match, and then there's the Rainmaker Shock, and then there's Dominion, and so I was clicking on it to see the exact shows or exact years and stuff, and they all flow at a certain point. Wrestle Kingdoms all flow together, which one's 6, 7, 5. And one of the comments on this match, or I think it was on the Dominion match, was that because we mentioned Naito, it's that Okada came in so big and brash, beating Tana, and then faced 2 generational bag fumblers as his next 2 defenses, in Goto and Naito. That he didn't know it was coming for him at Dominion.
Who did he face besides Naito?
What'd you say?
Who did he face besides
Goto.
Naito? Who's the other generation? Oh, fuck.
2 guys who are always the bridesmaid, never the bride, especially at that point. But yeah, it is very fun.
Naito would become even better.
And they know Goto would become even better than both of them.
Right. No, yeah. Do y'all have anything else to say about this one?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we should move on to that Dominion chapter.
Yeah. Well, this Dominion match, I mean, all of it doesn't have nearly as much of a lead-in for it. Obviously, what's happened is that Tanahashi lost the damn title to this kid. He's gone and gotten a few little defenses in, but Tanahashi needs it back. He's still the guy, and he can't let that stand. So, for the second biggest show of the year at Osaka Joe Hall, I think this was just about when they're starting in Osaka Joe Hall. It's a few years in. This is a new concept and a new. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm sure you probably know this stuff, guys. Osaka Joe is kind of a place that New Japan only made into their thing in this new golden era. It wasn't like a historic venue like these other ones, so it's kind of emblematic of this era specifically.
Yeah, it would be typically like Sumo Hall, or
right.
It would be, or like the Budokan, or stuff like that is where like their big stuff would be held, aside from the January 4th Tokyo Dome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they decided to pick this little building in Osaka and really build it up as one of their homes, and this is around the time that's starting to set in. So we get the biggest match of the year. Yeah, the biggest match of the year I can imagine, because Wrestle Kingdom is right at the beginning of the next year. The rematch between these two, Okada versus Tanahashi, I guess 3, really 2, kinda 2.5. Yeah, and Tanahashi's coming back for the title, and he, the story of the match is him kind of having an answer for all the stuff that he didn't have an answer for before. He's watching out for all the big spots that Okada hit last time, and he's able to counter a few of them, and Okada isn't really as prepared for a Tanahashi that knows how to pace himself in this match, who knows that he's dealing with a formidable opponent, and is smarter about missing those sort of match-ending moves.
Yep. He knows what his opponent can do and what he's capable of doing.
Right.
What to what to lean into, what to avoid, what to counter, and like a lot of the times of just countering the Rainmaker with the Sling Blade, he can get that set up through that move if he's quick enough. And really being able, he's ready, he knows at some point he's about to get the knee. I mean, I feel like with this just any Tana match, but like, you go for that second high fly, you're going to get kneed, bro. Those knees are coming.
Yeah.
The high fly flow knee counter is one that watching all the big playlist with all of them, it really makes me, like, after a while be like, buddy, you got it.
But at the same time, it can put people away. It's like, it's a 50-50. You take that coin flip every time.
It's a high risk, high reward. Yeah. That's why he should hit the one where they're on their tummy more. because you don't have that chance. But the opening exchanges here, I think, are really telling too, because the first match started with that exact same little young lion headlock sequence from the very start, but this one here, it's still like technical mat wrestling, but it is exactly about 50-50. They both stand up at the end of each of their little exchanges, and it just I think showed to me, it's like, oh, okay, so yeah, Tana, he is not overlooking this kid anymore. He's a known quantity at this point, so
for sure.
Mm-hmm. However, that doesn't stop Okada from still being way too cocky, because man, all the the usual Okada spots, the elbow into the corner, the elbow drop from the top, his many tombstones, pretty much all of them get flipped around on him at some point, and he falls victim even to the same stuff that Tana was doing in their last match, that outside high fly flow, and he gets caught in the ropes for those that sequence of dragon screw, cloverleaf, it was just really rough watching him, but it's he set you up, so it was like a chess move almost.
But the same thing too, why he goes for the knees is when he does go for the high fly flow, even if he does get hit with the knees with it, it's still gonna hurt Okada as much as it hurts him. Yeah, which I really liked in the first match, because it was this is the clever thing, and even he's almost smiling through the pain, and in this one he's like, my freaking knee. But oh yeah, bro said, I got tape now. I'm gonna game plan. You're not beating me twice.
Yeah. Just the even-handedness here is really something, and it that's something that I think will become a trope in big main event New Japan matches, that for guys who are not these guys, I don't really like all that much. Yeah. But it's because they're trying to reheat these nachos.
I mean, that is something we'll probably talk about more and more as the series go on. How these two, practically invented that style we're always talking about, the one that bleeds into AEW nowadays and New Japan during this 2010s era. It all started basically with this feud.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, it's definitely started with this feud. I mean, it's the hot. I think New Japan is growing, but I mean, especially that, start of that Rainmaker stuff was just, that's when it really started to explode, and then eventually to that, Wrestle Kingdom 10 and 11 era of just, I think in general, I think the internet had fully, I think it's a mix of things. I think it's a mix of New Japan being hot and just the internet in general, how big YouTube was and is now, where people are just regularly using it, and then that started the whole, okay, we can content create, let's make wrestling channels, which, people started seeing Uncle Dave more, and, treating his word as law and stuff like that, and we got the whole, 4.5, 5 in the Tokyo Dome stuff, but.
I do want to say maybe to cap off this conversation for this week. I don't know how much more we have to say about this last match, but I think the reaction to Tanahashi here, these people treat him like he's all four Beatles in 1964. They are throwing themselves at this man. Right. And it's like that in his entrance and when he wins, and I think maybe part of the story that doesn't get talked about as much as maybe it should be is just how much this program doesn't work if you don't have somebody who the crowd is so behind, and who they want ultimately at the end of the day to see come out on top. Like even if later on, like because right now they hate Okada, like genuinely.
Yeah.
He is this asshole who took the title away from our favorite. Fuck that guy, right? But later on, we'll see them start to appreciate him more. But throughout this whole thing, like just that need for Tanahashi to get the title back, to reclaim that spirit of New Japan that he had fought so hard for the past decade to get. I mean, that's the real core of what makes this work, I think.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, this next month, Okada's going to be the devil again for me, at least. I want to see that fucking
for you, baby.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm hoping the Ace can rewind the clock one last time and go back to make that boy look like a young lion once again. But, I don't...
I'll say this.
You got it.
Oh, sorry. I'll say this. There's no way that he's not going to try and do that, like, brutal high fly flow to the outside at some point during this match.
My God.
January
he needs fucking Coda to come back to the company just for one night just to tell him no. Like that, like he did in that steel cage match.
He's going to hobble Coda out. They're going to put him on a wheelchair.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our show today. So
I believe so.
Let's hit that outro. Thank you for listening to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. If you want to listen to more of us, we have a YouTube channel and we're on all your podcast players of choice. But if you want to follow us on social media to keep up with what we're doing, you can follow me at Logan Hurston. You can follow Jack at Average Darth. Cooper doesn't have social media, but Cooper, any last words?
Hey, shout out to Balding Masato Tanaka.
Yeah, shout out Balding Snot. Blah, 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 blah.
Shout out Balding Masato Tanaka.
Shout that man out. What a goat. We will be back next week. Another few hours of rousing wrestling content. More on that legendary Tanahashi and Naito feud. We have like 10 or 11 more matches to go. It's a long feud, guys. There's years and years and years of matches, and they're all pretty good. So you're going to hear us ramble about that for a little bit longer. But we will see you guys later. Goodbye and good night. Bang!